They're still finishing up over there. I'm giving them a second.
Oh my god, it's not working.
Oh, that's frustrating.
Oh, wait. There we go. I'm doing the whole show like this. Here I go again on the line.
And then I question why I did every time we get so the true. New Jersey calls. Some dudes with no balls. What?
Which New Jersey call are we getting today?
They're not sending their best. I'll tell you that much.
They're not sending their best.
Okay, let's start the show. That was the intro song for the record. I think he's ready. I think you can split screen us. Yeah. That's cool though that you've got it voice reactive is neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best. It's great if I don't feel like being on camera.
Yeah. I mean, it only opens its mouth for the whole time.
Yeah, no,
it doesn't.
I could adjust the audio gain so that it really does it a bit more. Like, see, but then it's, I gotta be talking at a very consistent volume for it to register.
Do you know that, and I'm mostly saying this because I already know that you're planning on switching back. When we started the line, there were a number of people who were like, can I be on it? And I was like, no, you can't. We're not doing cartoon avatars. Atheist YouTube used to be like so many cartoon avatar guys.
Don't you have a cartoon avatar as like your header on YouTube?
Sure. I'm not going to ban somebody from having it as their ad.
Oh,
but I never
you meant
spoke
like
through it.
You didn't want any like VTubers.
Yeah, I mean, this was even before VTubing, though. But yeah, it was, Apologia was mostly a cartoon back then. Vice Rhino was mostly a cartoon back then, and we were like, yeah, we're not going. There's a production standard we want to meet that wouldn't work for us. But anyway, hey, welcome everybody. This is Calling It Now on the line. Or on Jimmy Snow and the line. It's like an extension of all that kind of stuff. And we're here to talk today to MAGA and God believers. We'll talk to either of you. Tell us why God exists. Tell us why MAGA is the best in your opinion. What is it about MAGA that still holds your loyalty? I mean, at this point, I'm sure we're going to have at least one person calling.
Maybe.
Yeah, is that it?
Just a thought. Just throwing that out there.
Why still Trump after the Epstein files? Or are you done with him? Are you a recent deconvert from the Jimmy cult? What's the deal, guys? We would love to hear from you. That phone number is up there on the screen, 336-543-2101, 336-543-2101. Jimmy, can you fix the chat? It's cut off on the site. What? How would I fix that?
What do you mean? That's pretty simple. Jimmy, fix the chat. It's cut off on the site.
I don't know what you mean. It's cut off on the. What does that even mean? I don't know what you mean. Do you mean that it's not going the full length that it eventually you can only read so high and then scroll? I don't know what that means. Anyway, if you want to call in and explain to us why your ways are right, we're a couple of leftist, atheist, godless heathens who like nothing more than premarital sex and anime.
I was watching Superman, the newer one, because I was just like, I'll watch Superman again. And I really wish our billionaires were just like Lex Luthor and just built robots and tried to kill Superman. Instead, our billionaires create massive pedophile rings.
Elon's trying to build robots, but I'm pretty sure it's to protect the massive pedophile rings. He keeps joking about how they're going to be his army.
Did you oh shit, what was I gonna say? I literally had it and then I lost it.
Guys, before you roast that guy too much, I don't know what they were asking. They might be asking a thing that I can fix, but I don't know what the question is.
Now chat's going on. Did you ever are you like a comic reader at all?
Oh, hell yeah. Mostly Marvel. I read
Did you?
very little DC.
Okay, great. Did you read the Marvel runs like right after 9/11?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure I did. But I don't, nothing's popping to mind is what you're specifically referring
Where
to.
all like the superheroes and supervillains get together to like help clear the rubble of the World Trade Center. And
Oh,
and you read it and you're like, Dr. Doom, you did like 4 of these the other day.
yeah.
What are you doing?
Did you ever read the DC Marvel crossover comic where their universes got merged?
Yeah, that was when we got it was, hold on, don't tell me. I want to try to see if I can remember all of the mashups. I know it was Superman, Captain America. It was Wolverine, Batman. It was Batclaw. Batclaw was dope.
That, oh yeah, you're talking about the merge, but before the merge, they're just like, yeah. Before, so
you're talking about just like when they were hanging
volume.
Out together.
Yeah, and they're like fighting.
I was thinking about the amalgam series. No, okay.
I actually have them on my bookshelf over the ways. Anyway, there's a point in it where Joker's working with Red Skull and then finds out Red Skull is a Nazi and is like, hang on, boys, I'll take care of this one. And he beats the shit. He's like, I might be the Joker, but I'm above working with an actual Nazi. And I just remember just being like, no, you're not. like what? You are not better than first of all, I'm pretty sure you're the Frank Miller Joker, right? So did Frank Miller do Killing Joke? I'm just
maybe.
Bro, you like fucking, you're like a rapist murderer. Like you're not, and then all the shit you've done. Like Joker does crazy shit, or in the Injustice series where he like commits genocide essentially to
literally
just to trigger Batman.
Destroys like the whole of Metropolis.
Yeah. Like you're not good.
That's why I don't like when they try to give like the supervillains like, that's what I like about Lex Luthor in the Superman movie, right? He's just a dick. He don't care.
Yeah.
He's just a dick. He has no redeeming qualities. And I like that in a supervillain.
I know too. We were watching the first Iron Man. So my partner and I were watching she's only seen some of. So we're doing the whole like MCU timeline right now. So we're about to watch Captain America Age of Ultron. We're not to Civil War yet. We're about to watch Age of Ultron. Awesome movie. I'm excited for it.
Okay.
I like it. We just finished. You know what wasn't as good a movie on second watch? It's only the second time I've ever seen it, is the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It's good, but it's not great.
I think it's still one of the better intros.
Sure, origin
Age of Ultron
team.
To me falls apart after like the 30-minute mark. It just becomes a mess.
Guys, for real though, MAGA. Hey, by the way, we put out this challenge. Guys, a few things. First of all, click like. That's going to help get this into more people's feed. We want to hear from MAGA. What's wrong with leftism? What is it about leftism? Or it doesn't even have to be MAGA. If you are a liberal and you think you can defend liberalism against leftism, as long as you're calling a debate and tell us what we're missing and explain to us why we shouldn't turn our back on capitalism, we want to hear from you. That phone. And then again, for all the religion calls, we'll do those too. 336-543-2101, 336-543-2101. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we were watching the first Iron Man and I was like, post 9/11, when it was just so simple. The bad guys were Arabs and the good guys were the other people. And that's how we understood it.
It really was. The bad guys were all brown. They were all brown and from the Middle East.
Right.
And it used to be they were all German, then they were all Russian.
You
can really track who America hates by whoever is the bad team in Call of Duty.
There's not enough Nazis in Marvel, honestly. I would way prefer more Nazi killing and beating up and all that kind of stuff. That would be excellent. They did a little bit by Hydra's obviously a stand-in for the Nazis, but they did sneak a little political message of like, sure, it looks like it's these Middle Eastern terrorists, but who's the guy up at the top? A white billionaire, Obadiah
Stane. I mean, if your name is Obadiah Stane, right? Yeah. Your first thought should be supervillain. Like, you don't have many paths to go in life. Like, billionaire supervillain is kind of like your only option.
It happens. I will say I always expect Obadiah to eventually come back, even though they keep confirming in some ways dead, because I just don't believe in the. Did you ever watch the show Last Man on Earth?
I love Last Man. Last Man on Earth.
I did
is so
too.
fucking funny.
It was so good, and yet it was so like nobody watched it. Very few people watched it, and I love the his song, "The Open-Ended Nature of Unwitnessed Death." Closure, 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 closure. Anyway,
It low key really is a sleeper hit. If you've not watched Last Man on Earth, you got to
really
get
good.
through some rough plot lines. Like really, the show opens up when Tandy stops being a piece of shit.
That's true.
Once he stops being a piece of shit, that show becomes phenomenal.
I think it was either American Dad or Family Guy who made fun of it, though, that was like, wow, Last Man on Earth, how are they going to do this about one guy and an unlimited number of side characters? It fails to deliver on the Last Man on Earth.
I mean, he really is
quick.
only the Last Man on Earth for the first episode.
Yeah.
They could have named it something else.
Yeah. I mean, how long does it take for another guy to arrive if you wanted to go that route? Because there's
episode 4 is when Todd shows up.
Pretty close. Yeah. Todd in his
episode 2 is when Carol shows up. Episode 3 is when what's her name? January Jones, is that her who played her?
Yeah.
That's when she shows up. That plot line where she goes crazy is also really stupid.
What is she famous from before that? Like, I know
Mad Men.
played. Oh, got it. I'd never seen her before on anything. I was like, man, you really don't have to learn to act to be an actor anymore. You can just kind of say your lines.
They just don't do any. She's good, really good at Mad Men, but they don't do anything with her in Last Man on Earth. After like the first season, she gets nothing to do except, why don't you go crazy and never speak a line for like 6 episodes?
We probably got to start talking about stuff that's actually going to get people to call in. But also,
one second, wait. I just want to mention
American
also too that plot line where they adopt the black kid and then just leave him behind. They just they write him out of the show in the weirdest fucking way.
No, well, they get him again and but yeah, he keeps running. He runs away.
No. When they go to, what is it, Mexico? He doesn't go with them.
Did you ever read he goes with them to Mexico? He doesn't. I think he's not there when they go from there.
At some point, he runs away, and only January Jones' character knows where he is. Yeah, and they need to leave. And she's like, "I asked him, and he said he didn't want to come." And I'm like, "Excuse me, he's a child
fleeing nuclear fallout." Isn't that why?
Literally, I was like, "What is going on? This show's ridiculous, but so funny, so funny."
Maybe that's why people are mentioning her as Emma Frost in X-Men. Maybe that's what
was she Emma Frost?
Yeah, and she just wasn't good. It was the same thing. Like, do you know you can just say your lines as though you're reading them? Anyway, I haven't gone to X yet. Are they basically trying to run the narrative that it was another full-on assassination attempt, and it was clearly by a leftist with a trans girlfriend bullshit?
I'm sorry,
or what's going on?
Did I miss an assassination attempt today?
Well, I assume that's what they're calling it. No, there wasn't an assassination attempt because he wasn't at Mar-a-Lago, but a man broke into or got past the gate of Mar-a-Lago with a shotgun and a tank of gasoline and a handheld thing. So I'm just wondering how they're spinning it yet, because he was supposed to be in Milan. I understand he pooped his pants and couldn't go.
Is that why Threads I saw somebody on Threads going, there's never been Joe Biden never had an assassination attempt, and there's been so many on Trump.
He did. Wait, yes, he did. There was the guy. Do you not remember? Not you. 2023, there was a person who was killed on the front lawn of the White House. No, not killed. He was apprehended with a gun.
Oh, this I don't remember.
Yeah. And he was literally I came to kill the president.
Even past then, who knows how many assassination attempts we literally don't hear about.
The FBI doesn't report them.
Yeah.
So it's only the big public ones. There was also that guy in Utah that he was going to do an event in Utah. Not to be mixed up with the other Utah event that happened. Joe Biden was going to go to Utah, and there was.
What happened? Hang on,
I want to know.
Maybe I'm missing something.
They arrested a guy who went on social media. It's like, when he comes here, I'm going to kill him. That's what the shit he was saying. Yeah, no, the guy was saying it to Biden.
He said it to Biden.
Yeah. He was saying it on social media. Yeah. What were all the known assassins? I don't need to read this.
Oh, here, let me load up my stream too, so we have a bit more.
Yeah, we'll get some more people. So, So anyway, this guy drove 700 miles and Trump wasn't home. I'm looking forward to hearing like, this is the radical leftist, like you guys did this together. And it's kind of like, I don't know, man. If I was a part of it, I would have probably at least checked the president's schedule. Like that's
Have you seen?
That's how dumb you think I would have been at this. I mean,
more crazy than that. Have you seen all these people losing their minds about Mamdani and him like asking people for their ID to hire them as temp snow shovelers? And now everybody, all the right is going, so you need an ID to shovel snow, but not to vote. I'm like, yeah. You need ID to get hired for a job and get your paycheck deposited into your account.
And
that's not shocking.
But at the level they are engaging this, you need an ID to do this, not to do that. You do have to have an ID to vote, just not necessarily at the moment you cast your vote. And there's no way without.
No, it's not even that. They could absolutely 100% they could require an ID to vote. It just has to be free.
Right.
It wouldn't be any way, shape, or form illegal if they were like, here's a free ID.
Right. I would say it has to be free, and there has to be a period of time where that transition happens, where a person can go to vote on the old way and go, hey, this is the old way. Next time you show up to vote, it's not going to work. And there needs to be a mandatory what's the word? Like when you give somebody a mandatory directive on the state that they must deliver, that they have to go out of their way to get voter IDs into the hands of everybody, even if they're people who aren't necessarily
I think it should just be when you register to vote, and I like as soon as that registration is submitted and approved, you get an ID just shipped to you automatically. You don't have to do anything. My computer is fucking lagging like crazy. It was because I was playing 7 Days to Die. Probably. I turned the game off.
If y'all want to call in right now, I thought you were burnt out on it.
I'm playing on my modded game, so my modded wise, I'm having a blast.
Hell yeah!
Oh my god, I'm running like quadruple speed and just blah, blah. It's great.
336-543-2101. So yeah, in Provo, Utah, there was a.
Wait, say the number again.
336-543-2101.
Okay. I thought you said 346. So I got confused.
I mean, the number's on the screen too, people. If I'm saying anything confusing, you guys can find it right there. 336-543-2101. If you are a theist, if you are a person who disagrees with us politically, we would be happy to hear you out. Let you explain what you think we're doing wrong, how our beliefs are wrong.
I ended up watching the Nick Shirley, the California video. Fucking it might be the funniest right-leaning content I've ever watched.
He's just so obviously dumb. But to me, that might mean he's going to be president.
Where I feel like, but listen, I would actually say Trump is smarter than Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley seems like the type of person who would forget to breathe because you didn't remind him.
Yeah.
I'm not even being like hyperbolic. Homie is legit dumb. And he meets up with this one guy in the video who like tries to audit California's voter rolls and stuff. And you can very clearly tell in the video that the guy he meets up with is trying to prevent him from getting sued. So every time Nick Shirley goes, see, this is voter fraud, the guy goes, well, wait, this could be perfectly legal. We don't know what it is. Like it happens so many times. Able to
ask the question though. We're just asking questions. Glenn Becking it.
Just asking questions.
Dude, did you also see the terrible Georgia event with Donald Trump this week where he brought on? I thought we were done with Herschel Walker, since we're talking about people who are just obviously very dumb human beings. I thought we were done with Herschel Walker. Did you see him get up with Herschel Walker?
Isn't that what's his name? That one gay Republican content creator, isn't that his dad?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And then go home. You gotta go home.
Christian Walker or whatever. And then his dad turned out to like have an abortion.
Had paid for multiple women's abortions, and he was the one who, against Raphael Warnock, went up there on the debate stage, and Raphael Warnock like called out that he fakes being a cop, and he goes, "Is this fake?" And he shows a fake badge, and then the moderator has to be like, "You just broke the rule. You agreed to no props." Like, it was so embarrassing that he almost became the Georgia senator. I mean, it just a very.
We really got to set up a good way to, when we do these streams, to have like a third screen.
I have 4 screens in front of me. I don't know what you mean.
I mean on the stream.
Oh,
so we can pull videos up that
so we can show
about.
people what we're looking at. Well, I also don't want people to get too comfortable that we're just going to be sitting here doing reviews and stuff. We do want those calls. So people, if you've got a MAGA so far, and I understand we've been talking about nothing, and legitimately ever since Epstein, MAGA callers, it's more of a hit or miss. Like the other night with Lux, we had wall-to-wall calls, easy time. In fact, we had to like rush some calls through. I even turned down some calls, but that was from our New Jersey.
Were they mostly MAGA? Were they mostly MAGA calls?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We had pretty much all, MAGA disagreement debate calls of some kind. I don't remember us taking maybe one early on. Did we take maybe?
I only have
a trans call?
2 topics on my board. I can expand my board.
Yeah. I don't know. The tariffs are dumb. Donald Trump just got bailed out by the Supreme Court, and he's literally like trying to undo their bailout, because right now we have already seen costs going up, but the explosion in costs was going to be happening in the coming months because a lot of the giant companies, because small companies have already been going out of business like crazy. The tariffs have already been terrible for them, but large companies bought a bunch of stock of the things they needed before the tariffs went into place, and they hadn't run out with much of that stock. So some of the massive price spiking that was going to happen was going to be happening sometime soon. This is even what Elon Musk said when he was all shitty about Donald Trump.
The tax foundation for 2025 tariffs altogether cost the average American household $1,000 for the year.
So they're already going up. The massive spike coming soon. And potentially he just got bailed out by the Supreme Court because they're like, no, these tariffs, the Supreme Court, these tariffs are illegal. You can't do it with this framework. Now he's going like, fine, I'll just be a dick to the people I've already made deals with, put new tariffs back in place, cross the board 10%, and I think he's talking about doing 15, and now I'm going to use these other frameworks. I'm still just going to do them. I'm just going to claim I'm doing it through a different direction. Almost got bailed out. Literally, like, so many people relieved, especially if you're a small business owner, you were relieved because these tariffs are so stupid. They are so dumb to do. And yet he's like, no, I am committed to exploding prices. And when the Republicans talk about it, none of them want to call it what it is. They like the word just to say tariff. It's not just a tariff. It is a tax, and it is a tax that disproportionately affects small business owners and consumers. So it is literally a way to take money from the poor, put small businesses out of business because they can't compete with the tariffs. The people who can afford the tariffs are the large businesses. So they're sticking around as all of their competition is getting destroyed. And to them, because they're like, well, my competition goes, they come to me, I can afford the tariffs. The price increases are still happening, but not as bad. My overall business is going out because my competitors, these small businesses, are gone. So large companies, the billionaires, the people who are the problems, you're just going to see. We're going to look back in time and go, how was it not obvious?
It's going to be so interesting seeing because the 150-day extension that he gave him, that he used through the I don't remember what the specific 74 act was, but the 150 days he has for this new 15% brushes right up against midterms.
Yeah,
like Congress is going to have to vote right. I think it's like, what are we? We're 200 and hold on, I have a counter.
Just put a poll in chat if you're MAGA.
3 days before midterms.
Hit that yes and let us know how many MAGA people are here, because I'm interested to find out how many of you guys are still here and unironically defending Donald Trump.
I added you can't defend Trump to my board. I think that's a good one.
Yeah, he's not defensible. And maybe that's why. Maybe they agree. Maybe this is why they're harder to get these days, is it's really hard to be MAGA and pro-Trump. So if you're MAGA anti-Trump, you're MAGA, but you're wanting to move on from him, call us and tell us why we should be that MAGA. Why should we be JD Vance MAGA? Why should we be whichever version of MAGA you think we should be? Call in and explain it to us, because I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the benefit of. I'm seeing something that is going to absolutely destroy our country, our economy.
All right, I got some good topics. And I tried to gear them towards MAGA. So I have my normal two, which is all MAGA are uneducated and or bad people. No compelling external evidence for Christianity. Just those are my two heavy hitters. Love those. You can't defend Trump. MAGA hates LGBTQIA plus people and abolish ICE.
Yep.
I think those are heavy hitters for Jovan and Jimmy sitting on the line. Yeah, and then there's like a cool guitar riff.
The student, you know who I'm talking about? Do you know who I'm talking about when I do this?
Oh. You get one who punches that one dude?
2 days suspension.
He only got 2 days suspension? That's great. Didn't they also, though, suspend the other kid?
I don't know. Let's find out.
They suspended the kid for protesting because he was filming. Days. No, he got suspended for filming because you're not allowed to film in the school.
Look, you know, here's the deal. When you're fighting fascism, who's to say what the right way is? I don't care who you are.
Dude, somebody called in my stream the other day and caught me, like, tried to catch me on Fed posting, and it was like, well, what do you think we should do with all the fascists? I'm like, I can't say that and get away on TOS. Somebody says, I'm gonna punch you now. And you go, well, then you're gonna be in trouble. And he goes, okay, cocks his fist back comically, jumps back. But he does the clap beforehand. Because he hits the clap beforehand. It's so good. He's like, you'll get in trouble. Okay. Like, it's so good, dude.
Oh, man. He purses his lips when he cocks it back. The still where he's making a kissy face. Hey, fascist.
So
catch.
Good. It's so good. Remember, Captain America, he would punch a fascist.
Those are my favorite fascist punching moments. Anyway.
Who cares about fighting fascism? The Dow is over 50,000.
No criminal charges filed. Student punched another student for holding a pro-ICE sign. It was more than that. I mean, it wasn't just because he was holding the sign. He was literally like loudly getting everybody's attention. God bless ICE.
Everybody in chat, either in my chat and Jimmy's chat, I need a favor. If you can do art, please draw a picture of Pam Bondi as Vegeta going, it's over 50,000, talking about the Dow. I need this so bad. You will get clicks. Draw it, and then you got to post it. People are going to click on that. That, I think, hilarious.
I feel
Make
like
Donald Trump Napa.
I feel like it's aging out, but there also could be like some fun uses of, look, I'm not saying use AI, but some fun uses of some tools out there of like videos from the Nuremberg trial where they're like, the Dow is over 50,000. This is what we should be talking about. What about the Dow?
What do you mean? We don't have to catch the pedophiles, guys. The Dow is over 50,000. The pedophiles are not important. Clip it. I got maple really popcorn at the fair, my G. Tell me what's funny about the video, but maple popcorn might be like it's got like maple syrup.
That sounds good.
Like coated. I hate popcorn. I never eat popcorn. I'm chomping on this.
The funny thing about that video is that it's posted by the guy who got hit. So he went back and he watched the video and was like, this is going to make me a hero.
I don't know. Maybe he started a GoFundMe and it now has like $2 million.
Oh, yeah. Give, Send, Go. The Nazi GoFundMe, Give, Send, Go. The one that got Sheila. Was that her name? Sheila or Shelby or something like that? The one
that got all the money for calling that little boy the N-word?
Yeah.
I don't remember her name, but fuck her.
All right, let's actually try to get some calls here. Hey, people, we want to know what you disagree with us on. The phone number is 336-543-2101, 336-543-2101. We got a lot of brave people who show up in comments, brave people who show up in live chats. Well, now we are giving you the opportunity to be brave. Be brave, my friends.
All MAGA are uneducated or bad people. Let me explain that to you guys real quick. Every single person who is MAGA has no idea about Trump's policies. They don't know what the effects of those policies are. They don't know what causes the bad things in our country. All the ones who do know either stop supporting Trump or keep supporting Trump because they like to hurt poor people.
Right.
That's what that point means. Fuck you if you don't get it. That's on you. No compelling external evidence for Christianity. There is no evidence outside of the belief system that is convincing enough. The only way you can be convinced for Christianity is if you are brainwashed. That's it. The evidence ain't great, guys. It's not there. You can't defend Trump. I mean, you can try, but you're going to look like number one. And I think we all know how point number one makes you feel. MAGA hates LGBTQIA plus people. I don't know if you know this. 2 senators are trying to make being trans completely illegal. They literally put a bill in. I think it's in, it's either in like Ohio or Illinois. I'll have to go back and double check. But they literally put a bill in that makes it illegal to do gender affirming care on adults. It makes adult transition illegal. So you guys don't give a shit about saving it from the kids. You just don't like trans people. Next, you haven't looked into anything about Christianity? I promise you, me and Jimmy know more about your own religion than you do. Abolish
Colin,
ICE.
No. Yeah. I mean, let's invite
Connor. Call in, Connor.
With warmth, we invite you to tell us what we don't know about Christianity.
Oh yeah, Jimmy wants to be nicer.
Well, to start, I am finding that I have to accept, and this is what I think has been my problem. And I'm going to phrase it like that instead of going, Jovan, you know what your problem is? No, but what my problem has been, there's a thing called the Overton window. And when it shifts and you are on a side of it that is getting taken away, it can also be hard to accept how far to the right that Overton window has gone. And I'm finding that I need to recalibrate to the current Overton window and give people a little bit more time, a little bit more space, a little bit more grace to explain themselves, even when it gets absolutely crazy.
I'm just
now,
an asshole.
If they're going to be rude dicks, trust me, I'll still out-dick them. But I am willing to give a wider array of patience.
Oh, do you also say also abolish ICE? Did you see that also there was a bill introduced that would make abortions a federal crime that would require execution?
That's in Tennessee, so I don't know if it would be a federal crime.
Oh, okay, so felony. It would make it a state felony, and then Tennessee can execute you.
Yeah. I mean, Tennessee. What I don't know is how big of a Tennessee. There's another state that it might be Louisiana, where there's like a couple of state Congress people who will introduce the craziest fucking bills. I haven't checked yet whether this is one of those. Is this a bill that actually has any chance of passing, or do they just have that guy from the fucking mountains who comes down and casts his vote and goes, we need to kill the queers and the abortions, and we need to do it. Like, which person?
It's still crazy that it's a bill getting introduced anywhere.
Yeah.
And that means that the representatives who introduced it, someone voted those people in. That's weird.
Well, yes, there are people in certain seats, especially in state Congress, like state house and shit, who literally had won a total of 200 people voted and they won by 6 votes. You know what I mean? Like, there are those. So that's what I don't know. I haven't looked into it.
Garrett in my chat, if you believe trans people aren't real, call in. I'll hear you out. I'll hear you out why you think that. You'll be wrong, but I'll hear you out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, nobody's just we have a guy who comments on, I think I banned him finally because he kept ignoring me. I basically was like, hey, just so you know, I don't think you're engaging. I think you're just writing this and not even watching the episodes. So I don't care to keep you here. And I was like, so you need to, so I basically asked, so I was like, are you watching the episodes or just posting these? And he responded to somebody else under that. I was like, hey, I'm going to ask you again. If you ignore me again, you're banned. And he did. He ignored me again. He responded to somebody else elsewhere. And I was like, all right, well, then fuck you. You're banned. You're banned. You're banned.
Saying trans people aren't real is hilarious. Like, what are they, imaginary? Is this Foster's homes for transgender friends?
I mean, I think it's going to, I assume, be the like trans. It's not a real condition. That's a made up thing by the Jews, or whatever, whichever group they're going to blame it on. And therefore,
they're
since
blaming
it's a
on
made-up
Epstein
thing,
now.
which it's funny, like even by your own, even if that is your position, even if you were right, it wouldn't make trans people not exist unless whatever religion you are, like Christianity is made up. So if I were to say, is it then no Christians exist? Like, is that okay for me to say no Christians exist? Clearly there are Christians who believe that. So even if you were right about trans people being like delusional or that it's based in an ideology that isn't scientific, which isn't the case, and we're happy to talk that over with you people. You can't say they don't exist unless you're willing to say, Christians don't exist if you're not Christian, Muslims don't exist, Mormons don't exist. Like nobody with a belief that is untrue.
No
exists.
beliefs.
There are no beliefs. They don't. It's not real. They're not a thing. Frankly, there are only MAGA and there are poop heads, not to be confused by what is filling my pants right now. That dude apparently is not doing the best at. There's another video this week of where you just see people behind him suddenly doing like these faces of I can smell shit right now.
Pants.
That's what seems like that could be the. Listen,
Why does Donald Trump keep pooping his pants?
In best faith, there are times where I have these farts that smell like something died and decomposed up my ass. Right? Maybe it's just those. I don't know. I don't know if he just has death farts. Whatever's going on.
I'm pretty sure Hakeem is back in chat.
Yeah, Hakeem's always in chat. He has nothing better to do. This is literally all. Is it even the same Hakeem though? Have we verified that? But like, of course he is. What else does he have to do with his life?
This. Ow.
Oh, I guess we've got a call screening here. We'll see what's going on, people. That phone number is 336-543-2101. If you want to explain to us where we've gone wrong, what we're doing wrong, what we're saying that is incorrect. You broke what?
It like hit my nose. I was trying to catch popcorn by throwing it in the air, and then it like hit my nose and split into two.
You should have caught both. I'd have caught both.
Nose of steel.
No, guys, listen. We have plenty we can talk about here, and we're capable of being interesting without. We have calls screening, but people in chat going like, Hakeem, please call. Let's start the ball. Like. Didn't I turn down the Hakeem call on a show this week? Was that one of the ones where
Hakeem got so embarrassed by me last week? I would be surprised if he.
He was in chat earlier this week saying he got another victory against low IQ Jovan again. Literally already forgot the spelling correction.
Someone said check your Discord for the Pam Bondi thing. No way.
That's too fast. You used AI.
No. It's just a Photoshop.
I was mostly teasing. Why aren't we talking about? Let's talk about the other things. Oh, man.
That's so good. Atheism is a consoling, don't know what that means, for those who cannot handle the reality of God. So call in. Christ-centered mental health is a crazy name. I know what I do when my mental health is bad. I appeal to somebody who doesn't exist. That's just the best way to fix my brain. Jimmy's Hakeem tax is 150. Crazy.
I mean, if he gets in the queue, maybe we'll see. We'll see. All I know is that there were a few people I called in trolls who called in this week, and I got them on there. And hey, what did you want to talk about? And as soon as I started talking, I was like, don't care, and hung up. And those were really fun moments for me. They just felt good.
Did you see that Christino murdered dog shrine in Chicago? Yes, hilarious. So very funny.
I've got to message you about something.
Okay.
You keep talking while I write this out.
Sure, let me vamp. Who's got Hakeem said, tell me to, and I'll call in. I like myself too much. I value me too much to listen to Hakeem not be able to actually. You know what? Hakeem can call in. I'll gladly take the call. but he has to provide a syllogism on whatever the topic we're talking about is. I just don't believe Hakeem has the mental bandwidth to handle the debate without first providing a syllogism. So if Hakeem's got a syllogism, feel free to call in. What the fuck? A bird just flew out from my window.
I sent you a message. I'm not going to do it, but man, the way I want to call out another creator right now is so bad. So bad. Yeah, I do remember. Yeah. I remember people had to pay for, I've been up in the prices of some of them. I don't know what is going on with this person who's being screened right now. There's some people who call in and just talk the ear off of, or maybe it was the last one. I don't know. I don't know what happened with these calls that are getting lost immediately. Our phone number is 336-543-2101. MAGA, if you want to call in and explain to us where we are going wrong. You see what I wrote you?
It did.
Ain't that some shit?
It is. It's fucking crazy.
Oh my fucking God, dude. The way
I told Hakeem he can call in if he can provide a coherent syllogism.
He's looking up what syllogism is. And that is the best silly strings are I don't even like, that's more your thing. I don't there are times where it's like if a caller's going on and on and on, I don't like to fill bro shit, and I feel like that is kind of fill bro shit.
I like to fill bro when they claim to be intellectual.
That's
like
true.
Somebody like Hakeem, that's when I like to do fill bro shit. Yeah. We're gonna take this down to fucking bare fucking tax because you think you're hot shit.
All right, welcome to class, Hakeem. Let's but we're waiting to see these calls that are getting
what
screened right now.
What is syllogism?
He knows. He knows all about. He's got a whole playlist of syllogisms. This is his time to shine.
Joshua, feel free to call in. I don't know what's so hard about just picking up a phone.
I'll make Jovan be nice.
He's lower than 18. Never mind then.
Producer, what is happening with all of these calls? Why are they taking so long to screen and then they ultimately bail?
Premise: if the Bible is true, God exists. Premise 2:
what
happened?
What you mean, because I've screened a few and they didn't take too long, but my system is being a bit weird. I don't know if you can see the notes, but I can't see any of the notes that I'm writing. They're not.
No, I don't see any notes.
I don't see notes on anybody. Yeah, I don't know. The last one. Happening. Okay, maybe just does it show? It doesn't even show you them at all after you write them.
If you click the notepad on it, then you can see what I wrote, but it doesn't show up.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's so weird. All right, well, we'll report that to them after the fact, but just go ahead and copy and paste them into Discord, I guess. So we'll know what to refer to. In the meantime, we're going to be talking to Alan in, let me look again, Oklahoma, pronouns he, him.
From Oklahoma.
Alan, you are on the line with Jimmy and Jovan. How are you?
Hey, Jimmy. Hey, Jovan. I'm doing well. How are you today?
Sup?
Just fine.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we hear you. Do you hear us?
Yeah, there we go.
Well, everybody hears everybody. All right, go ahead. What'd you call in about?
Yeah, well, my main point of contention is regarding the fact that we have to be able to deal with the fact that we're not going to be what we want to be as far as transitioning to another gender when we're not even able to make decisions that have so much implications at such a young age. So I'm mainly calling about the gender affirming care topic for minors.
Yeah, who'd you vote for this last time in Oklahoma?
I voted for Kamala.
Did you? Kamala. All right, and so you're basically just calling in to say that you don't believe in transition care for minors. Would you give me an example of transition care for minors that is currently available and is, let's say, at least used somewhat regularly?
So I know that for the most part, whenever people speak about gender affirming care, that people think it's surgical, bottom surgery, but for the most part, I think it's based off of hormone therapy and yeah, so I understand that much.
And so how old are people when
Jimmy,
they are offered, which type of hormone therapy are you referring to specifically?
Well, first, let me back up really quick, Jimmy, because I do want to be upfront here. I actually identify as an independent, so what I really want to get at is that I didn't vote in the past election. I opted out of voting.
Okay.
Now, before I did vote, I have voted Democrat in the past, but yeah, this last election I didn't vote. So I didn't want to be upfront about that.
How old are you?
And I'm 22.
Okay. Well, so then previous elections you didn't. Which previous election did you vote Democrat?
For the one before, for Biden.
For Biden. And so in the election of 2020, when you were 16 or 17 years old, you voted for Biden?
No, so
he would have been 18.
He just said he was 22, right?
Yeah, that's 4 years from 18.
The election was in 2020.
Whenever I was 18, I was first able to. Yeah, whenever I was first able to vote, I was 18. So I said 22.
What year were you born? What year were you born, Alan? What year were you born?
I was born in 2002.
No, you weren't, Alan. So what the fuck is going on right now? If you were born in 2002, you're not 22 years old right now. You could be 23 and about to turn 24, but you were not born in 2002. So, Alan, since we're being upfront about stuff, let's wipe the whole slate, and now let's start telling the truth.
Yeah, no, you would be 23.
Potentially 23, turning 24. Yeah. It is somebody in chat saying I suck at math. Actually, I do math better than you, apparently, because you cannot have voted in 2020 if you were born, or if you are current day 22, because you are at least 5 years younger in 2020 and potentially 6 years younger from whatever the date is, which means at 22, you are either 17 or 16.
That math ain't math, Brody.
Let's go ahead, Alan, and reset and tell us the truth. How old are you actually now?
I was 18 when I voted for Biden. I'm 23.
So why did you say you were 22?
I didn't want to, dox myself. I didn't want to be, completely...
Alan, then you say I'd rather not share rather than lie. So what month are you born?
I was born in January.
Oh my God, you're lying again, Alan, because if you were born in January of 2002, you are 24. Alan, why are you lying again? If you were born in January of 2002, you are 24. You are not 23. Jesus Christ.
I was born in January, and so I said
January of what year?
Is that not a common thing where people are still saying the age they were, a couple months ago?
When they haven't just lied a minute ago about being 22.
I don't know why you're spurring out here. I don't know why you're being a spur here and thinking that this isn't a common thing that happens.
I know who this is.
Dude,
I know who this is.
Oh, it's not really. It's not. No. Alan.
It's just I talked to somebody who used that same phrase, and I don't hear anyone using that phrase in the year of our Lord 2026. Alan, have you called in before?
I have called in before, yeah.
What did you talk about when you called in?
It was regarding the same topic, okay? And I think I'm better prepared to discuss it. And
so hold on. You called in before. You would have gotten, if you talked to me, you would have gotten destroyed with like evidence and stuff. So now you're calling in again to talk about the same topic, and you think now you'll do better.
He says better prepared. So, Alan, whatever age you are,
I don't understand why.
Since you're better prepared, you'll be able to do it
and be better.
Okay, you'll be able to do the basics better. You're better prepared this time. That's what you said. You'll be able to do the basics better. Great. Okay, Alan, what primarily, when you say hormone therapy, what are you referring to? Excuse me. What are you referring to?
Well, I mean, there's different types of.
There are primarily two. There are primarily two types of hormone therapy when it comes to trans youth, people under the age of 18. Do you know what they are?
Is TRT one of them? Or am I mixing that up?
That would be a more specific. That would be one of the types.
Oh, he said
of
HRT?
one of them. HRT. What is HR? He said TRT. What does HRT stand for?
I heard CRT, and I was very lost for a second.
It stands for. I'm not familiar with the acronym completely, but hormonal.
Okay, then you're not better prepared to take on this, for the record. It just stands for hormone replacement therapy. So it essentially would be a therapy where you are primarily producing estrogen. You'd like to no longer produce so much estrogen, and you would like to produce more testosterone. Or you aren't producing enough testosterone, HRT. If you're a cisgender man, you might do HRT as well. Because you don't like your current proportions. But for a trans person, it means I want less estrogen, more testosterone, or I want less testosterone, more estrogen. Okay, so now that we've got that one. I think
there's just a simpler question. Just like, if he's better prepared.
Yeah.
No, I know, but if he's better prepared, I would just want to see that he's got a study that shows that there's more harm done by gender-affirming therapy than there isn't.
We'll get there, but I want to examine how prepared he is. So what is the other one? What's the other major form of hormone therapy? So, because what you just described, HRT, or what I just described, HRT, do you know what age they start offering HRT to trans kids?
I'm assuming sometime around middle school.
Assume around what?
Around middle school, so I guess 11.
Okay, you'd be assuming wrong.
Or, I mean, about 13, I guess, right before high school. Something like that.
Again, you'd be assuming wrong, but maybe you're thinking about the other type of hormone therapy. So what is the other type of hormone therapy?
The other type of hormone therapy is... Can I lay out my argument?
In a moment. What's the other type? You said you're better prepared. And so all I am doing is asking you exploratory questions to figure out whether or not you are educated well enough on this topic to have an opinion, essentially, that anyone should listen to. So what's the other type? So let's say we talked about HRT. HRT is not going to be offered to somebody generally under the age of 16. So you said middle school. You're quite wrong. Sophomore to junior in high school at the earliest after a process. Now, before they hit that process, if they come in identifying as trans and they've gone through another process that I don't think you have any familiarity with, what other type of hormone therapy might they be offered instead of HRT?
The other name, I'm not 100% sure about that one, okay? But here, can I just present my argument, and then it's mainly going to be
in a moment. What if a 12-year-old goes in and they go, yeah, okay, we see you need some sort of medical intervention? What are they offered if that is considered by the doctor to be legitimate, that they need something medical, not just transitioning socially, not just a different haircut, not just different clothes? What might they be offered if they are a little bit younger?
I'm assuming some kind of estrogen therapy or some kind of...
Why are we assuming? I thought we were better prepared.
Okay, Jovan, we spoke about this last time, and yeah, you came up with a study saying that...
you're trying to just jump right by?
Hey.
What if I give you... It rhymes with booberty bockers. Booberty bocking therapy.
Right. Okay. So puberty blockers before 12, 13 years old.
So you did enough research to be able to do a rhyming game. Oh, so that's good. That's good. Yeah. So just so we're clear, you came in with saying like you have an idea of what ages things should be allowed, with a total and complete ignorance of at what ages things are happening in the first place. So I'm just making sure we're setting a sort of foundation of like how better prepared you are.
This is the main crux of my argument, okay? You're not going to be a professional soccer player. You're not going to be a professional basketball player. You're not going to be able to transition into another gender to be able to make that happen. First of all,
interesting.
I do believe that trans people exist. People are born intersex, right? And those people should get health care.
Sorry, intersex and transgender are not the same thing.
Right, I know that. So intersex people who are born with both sex organs should get health care.
Great. However, we're not talking about intersex people at all. We're only talking about transgender people right now. Now, there are transgender intersex people or intersex people who like to use the label, but that would be separate from the fact that they are intersex. These are independent concepts from each other. So, now come to transgender people. Transgender people being people who are identified as a sex at birth, who do not identify with that sex. They identify as a different gender than their sex at birth.
Right. Okay. And so for those people who transition, who have been given a gender at birth and transition to the opposing gender, I think that should be a luxury. It shouldn't be a right. Now, for people born with both sex organs, they should have health care and it should be free and it should be a right. But for people who want to transition, people who want to transition, that should be a luxury. Unless
why should it be a luxury instead of healthcare?
Because people are not going to be, me, I want to be a professional basketball player. Some things are just not going to happen. Okay, you have to.
Alan, this isn't an argument. This is the laziest argument I've ever heard in my life. He thinks
he cooked so hard.
Are you not familiar with
your argument? This isn't a philosophical argument. Are you stupid? This isn't philosophy that you're
MAGA,
using.
please send us somebody who's capable. The phone number's there. If one of you there, you can get on hold. You can screen right now while we finish up. MAGA, somebody who disagrees with us on something. This guy is laughably silly.
He said it's philosophy. You're not going to always get what you want.
You're not going to be able to.
That classic conchism.
Alan, should treatment for depression be medical care or a luxury?
I think that should be a right.
Well, I mean, you're not going to be a basketball player. So like, I don't want to be depressed and I don't want to not be a basketball player is what you just did. Because the fact of the matter is the people who transition.
I'm okay with.
So should treatment for anxiety be healthcare?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. So should treatment for something that is identified as the treatment for somebody suffering a certain ailment, it sounds like you're saying it should be covered until that specific ailment is gender dysphoria, which causes depression, which causes anxiety, it causes suicidality. And generally, while there are trans people who I don't care who wants to take on the label. There are people who say they don't experience gender dysphoria and are transgender. Generally, none of the people who don't experience dysphoria and are transgender then transition through something like surgery, right? Unless they're talking about, I don't have dysphoria because I did already successfully transition and now I'm good. My dysphoria is gone because I transitioned. I got whatever things made me feel fine. So it's fine when they're treating depression. It's fine when you're treating anxiety. It's fine when you're treating any number of psychological ailments. But why is it not fine when it's specifically gender dysphoria?
Because it creates an indefinite sort of burden on the taxpayer for people who...
So does treating depression. By the way, we don't even have all healthcare in America as a luxury, Alan. If you've been trying to talk, you're muted, Jovan.
Oh, great. Sorry. I was saying I don't give a fuck what burden it plays on the taxpayers. Who gives a shit? That's such a dumb argument.
Right. All healthcare in America is a luxury, first of all.
Oh, no. We can just put any burden on the taxpayer. That's brilliant, Jovan. Yeah, no, that should be the most salient part of this all.
Your straw men are hilarious. Your straw men are laughably bad.
You're not even good at straw
Why
manning.
do you think the burden that a taxpayer is put on? Why do you think that's insignificant?
Because it's healthy.
Is that what I said, or did I say? Is that what I said, or did I say I don't care what burden this specifically places on the taxpayer?
And by the way, you're still losing, bud, because we don't have a single payer system. We don't have universal health care. We literally have a luxury healthcare system. So first we're talking about, should we have universal health care? Obviously we believe so. And then should transition be covered? And transition is healthcare because gender dysphoria is a legitimate thing that affects people and should be treated. So yes,
also,
it should be because it's
Jimmy, correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't Medicare already not pay, Medicare and Medicaid already not pay for gender affirming services?
I have no idea. I haven't looked.
I'm pretty sure they don't as of Trump taking office. So what the fuck are we arguing about?
That's probably true.
Well, it depends on the state.
Alan, can you do me a favor? Alan, I don't care. State what? Alan, can you do me a favor? Can you present to me? I asked this earlier, and I think now is the perfect time. Do you have some sort of academic research that proves that gender affirming care is more harmful than not receiving it?
So, do you think that people who went through gender affirming care, who transitioned, do you think that they are put in a position where they have to save face, and they must say that, oh yeah, I made the correct decision, I made the right decision, I have no regrets? You don't think that
question? Sorry, I was avoiding your response to your avoiding of my question.
Can you repeat back what Jovan's question to you was?
He's asking
what did Jovan just ask you?
A study
about what?
Says that it's counterproductive for minors to receive gender affirming care.
Okay, and do you have one of those?
Hold on, wait, Jimmy. That's not what I asked.
That's not what I asked.
I said, do you have some type of academic research? Not what verbiage. The question was, do you have some type of academic research that shows that not receiving gender affirming care is more beneficial than receiving it? Because if the answer is no, then I don't know what we're talking about. If it's more beneficial to get gender affirming care than it is to not get gender affirming care, then we should allow people access to it, whether they're youth or not, because it's more beneficial if they get it than they don't.
Right. I said if it's counterproductive for someone to get gender affirming care, and that's the same thing.
That's not a piece of academic research. Is it just you saying something? Are we just doing I said so, and so therefore it's true?
Can you imagine being this bad at this call, being this, saying this? Shit. We literally went through all the things. We've established that everything he doesn't know about transitioning could fill many libraries, but he's speaking as though he knows. And then he's going to be intellectually condescending to Jovan about what he does and doesn't understand.
Jovan doesn't.
Did you figure out what HRT stands for yet?
Sorry. Alan, you keep talking, but I don't hear anything because I've yet to be given a piece of academic research. I'm sorry. Are you capable of this? I was told you came more prepared. I assume coming prepared would be showing up with some type of academic research to back your point.
Well, that's just absurd.
So do you think that people are put in a position where they have to save face saying that, oh yeah, I have no regrets over transitioning? You don't think that's a common sentiment?
Nope.
Ooh, nice try.
From people who
hang on, but don't let him off the hook. Don't let him off the hook. Don't let him off the hook. I'm sorry. Is this academic research or is this you being a little bitch again?
This is Jimmy, you've not heard of the College of Trust Me, Bro?
Right.
Trust Me, Bro University?
This is more in the realm of philosophy and logic.
That's not philosophy or logic. God damn.
So can you just say you don't, at this point, I think you're 82 years old. That's how much you lied about. The start of this was a lie. Then you talked about how better prepared you are. You still don't know when talking about minor care, you still don't know what HRT stands for, and you could probably
hormone replacement therapy.
He Googled.
Puberty blockers.
You Googled it. Excuse me, did you then just, oh man, my guy, if you're going to then sit there and say, like you said, puberty blockers, you're going to need to go ahead and remember, again, when you're being intellectually condescending, I told you there was 2 types, HRT and something else. The something else was puberty blockers. Puberty blockers aren't HRT, my bud, my friend, guy, Alan from Oklahoma.
What is so funny about this call, Jimmy, is this is what I was telling you at the start of the show. This is when I go bare bones, right?
Oh,
here's what I need from you, Alan. This is all I want to hear. I would like a cohesive and a cohesive syllogism from you on your position. P1, P2, C, dog. I'll even write it down.
I mean, considering what he did with HRT, he probably thinks P1 refers to something else.
My position is that if people receive transitioning care, gender affirming care, that they are put into a position where they must.
Sorry, is that P1 or P2?
I think he was still on P1. P1 is what? If people are exposed to gender, what was it? Give it again.
If people receive gender affirming care, but then he said then, which would lead me to believe he's going on to P2.
Mm-hmm.
It leads to people being in a position where they have to save face to whoever asks as to whether they regret going through such life-altering.
Hold on. Great. Do you have proof of that?
This is such speculative bullshit.
Alan, do you have any proof of that?
Well, that's the problem with self-report. That's the problem with.
Alan, you don't have proof of that.
So how did it go when you detransitioned?
Wait, crazy.
At least we can get anecdotal.
Alan, I'm so confused. You're stating something as if it's fact that is completely made up in your brain. But I was assuming you were better. Alan, it doesn't logically follow because we have detransitioners.
Okay. Not only that, literally the second in command at this company, the line, is a woman who transitioned, then detransitioned, and then transitioned again because she realized that she fell for detransition propaganda. So we can go anecdotal with the real world examples that represent the data. We don't have a massive conspiracy. It seems that regret. And so what you're basically sitting here doing, Alan, is going, the regret rate is low, but what if it's low because of something I can't prove, but if I were to transition right now, I would regret it. And so that must be what those people are feeling. Like, expand your mind out beyond the limits of your own wiener.
Really quick, Jimmy, I want to offer you a philosophical thought for a second.
Okay.
Jimmy, dragons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would logically follow that if dragons were to attack us, it would be beneficial if we had an anti-dragon military force, right?
Yes.
So why aren't we spending all of our military money making an anti-dragon military force?
Well, now that's a good point. So this is all I'm going to think about for the rest of why don't we do that, Trump? We actually do. There is a dragon part of Space Force. Space Force is ready for dragons.
Dragon Force sounds like a Power Rangers season.
I believe Dragon Force is actually the name of a heavy metal band.
Alan, do you recognize what that little thought experiment I just did with Jimmy demonstrates from your argument?
I understand, but it's not realistic. I understand the principle you were alluding to, but it's not a realistic hypothetical, Jovan. That's the problem with it.
Oh, okay.
What I'm trying to...
So a non-realistic hypothetical, almost like, hey, what if all of these people that are saying they're happy with their care are just lying to us? Yeah.
Yours is pulled out of your actual bum. Like, guys, MAGA, I know you guys... Look, obviously we don't agree with MAGA, but I know MAGA can do better than this guy. Like, I know that people who disagree with us, Christians, MAGA, whatever, I know this is not your best.
He used spurging out as a slur. I think it was all downhill from there.
What does that even mean?
Jimmy, hang on, Jimmy. Wait.
Oh, sorry, I'm too autistic to get it. Also, you were not born in 2002 if you were using Asperger's as a verb.
No, I mean, it's,
what the fuck?
Common
were you born in the other
now.
02? Are you 124 years old?
No. Listen, I just didn't want to dox myself, okay? And okay, I should have been more upfront with you, and I should have told you that I would rather not say. Okay?
No, that's cool, man. I'm used to anti-trans crowd being. It's kind of like you just showed liars. You showed up for the assignment. Go be a liar. And now we have no reason to believe you for any otherwise sense. So we've just been talking to you, waiting. Like, my goodness. MAGA, you've got a couple of you in chat saying that you're willing to call in. Call. Go ahead and call in and let's hear from you.
You won't do any worse than this guy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Legitimately, I'm happy to hear people out. I will meet you where you are. This man called in and told us he was prepared, didn't know what HRT was, okay? And if you want to call in and say, I don't want to do trans because while I'm against it, I don't actually know enough about it to say it just feels wrong. I just got actually about the Spurg thing. You're lying about your age too, intimate basis. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't give a fuck.
Actually about what?
Oh, I guess that's internet slang. So him being born in 02 makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, we haven't used Asperger's as a diagnosis since a
while.
When did it go away? I remember doing when I worked at a autism center, that they had told us that it's not a thing anymore. And this was 2016. Yeah.
It's
been at least 10 years.
All right, MAGA, please send us somebody who actually knows why they believe what they believe, because Alan doesn't know. Alan just doesn't like the idea of. Alan thinks he's gay if he finds out he's attracted to a trans woman.
That was so funny.
That's what it comes down to. They're very, very afraid of finding out that somebody they found attractive has or had a wiener. That's like the
Hakee, we already said if you can provide a syllogism, you can call. You have to be able to provide a syllogism.
About it still?
He's saying that we're scared, even though we've already told him he can call if he does X. He doesn't want to do X, so clearly he's the scared one.
Right.
If he was not scared, he would just do X, and then he could call in.
I'd rather take more money, but you've now put it down. I would have if Hakeem got in the hold line, even though right now MAGA's not trying to call. Even then, I would still have them. I'd still be like, I'm only taking Hakeem for at least $100. We'll start the bidding low because he's not quite Andrew level yet. He's not as bad as Andrew, honestly, I honestly find Cortez to be worse than Andrew already, and Cortez has made, fewer calls. We had a weird thing on the last show where this guy called in, and from the actual call, it seems like a normal dude, but it's a dude who he flips and flops. The guy will say right away, I'm not drunk, I've had a stroke, blah, blah, blah. He makes, did I ever tell you about that guy who his Rumble page is videos of him saying I dare Rumble to take this down for me saying the N word. And that's the title of the video.
Who is this?
It's this guy who has called in the past. I'll tell you off air. He actually had some fame back in the day, but mostly of people making fun of him. There's his own personal YouTube channel never broke 10K, but there's a channel that just played his shit mockingly that hit 300,000 subscribers.
That's funny.
Crazy shit like that. Yeah.
I just hit 70.
And that's cool. That's cool.
I want that fucking gold button
silver
or silver button, whatever it is. I don't care what color it is. I just want it.
Yeah.
I think gold is the million, right? Isn't gold the million one?
Gold's $1 million. Yeah. I've only got 2 silvers now. Anyway,
what do you get a second one for? Oh, is it for the actual line page and then this page?
Line and then mine? Yeah, Jimmy Snow. Before it was Jimmy Snow on the line and then the line. If I'd kept going on r/news, that thing got up to 50,000. I probably would have had a third. Especially you used to be able to get subscribers. People don't rely on hitting subscribe much anymore. They rely on their algorithm, which I have been preaching, guys, please do it for us then. Don't do it because you care about seeing more, because that's not going to matter. Just do it for us. And then I've had to actually realize that I do the same thing. So recently I've been more generous with hitting subscribe on channels and stuff too.
My personal YouTube page that I like watch stuff on, I always subscribe to the people. If I watch more than one of your videos, hitting subscribe, like in long form videos, because it's just like, I'm like, clearly I like this content.
Sunil in Saudi Arabia is also wanting to call in on the trans issue. Before we get this started, people, we would love to hear a defense of Donald Trump's tariffs, a defense of Donald Trump's ICE. If you think that what ICE is doing is good, a defense of whatever. If you think Nick Shirley's fraud video about California is super smart, we would love to hear you guys defend MAGA and what they're doing. That phone number is up there, 336-543-2101. Sunil in Saudi Arabia, pronouns he, him, is calling in about the trans issue. What's up, Sunil?
There's an issue now?
Hey, man, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
All good. Yeah, so we can just get into the topic?
Yep.
Okay. So was that the trans topic is very charged, okay? So let's go at it from another angle, okay? Just humor me in this, thought experiment. Let's say in the near future, you are allowed, like the bionic prosthetics, they get so advanced that people want to remove their healthy arms and legs to get prosthetic, like robotic prosthetic limbs. Should that be allowed?
Yes.
Sure.
You think it should be allowed?
Yeah.
Yep.
Bro, the moment I can get rid of this hit or miss colon, I'm out.
I'm sorry?
I'd love gills personally.
Gills would be tight.
Wait,
Sunil, did you call in thinking this would be an obvious, like, well, they never let themselves be cyborgs? Hey, boy, you are not familiar with my work.
Absolutely become a cyborg.
Okay.
I got a metal leg right now, thing, my guy.
Right? Okay, man, let's talk about it. Why was that? What does it mean to be human then? If you can just like switch your parts and become something else.
Sunil, I don't think being human has anything to do with like body. I think human should be about like whether or not you have conscious personhood. Right. I think that's more important.
If you want literal, what does it mean to be human? You were born with the DNA of the creatures that we call Homo sapiens right now, right? Like that you are in the genus Homo. As long as you're a Homo, you're a human.
I'm in some Homo genuses, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about this? Let's say I don't want to go hungry again. I replace my stomach with a power cell. Okay.
Hell yeah.
But I cannot then share in the experience of, being in the dinner table with family. So to me, that is what being human is.
You can still sit at the dinner table with your family. You just don't eat.
Hey, Sunil.
Yeah.
This is the funniest fucking thing. So you just basically said, sorry, Jovan, every now and then there's a thing that's more mine than yours. It's usually the other way around. So I got to take this one. So you're saying that if I have some quality that prevents me from having the dinner experience with my family, I'm not really engaging in humanity?
It's a very important element. It's very societal.
So I currently have an intestinal disease that prevents just that. I can eat like 6 foods in general. Like I right now, every day, sit down to eat with my partner and she has something amazing that I will sniff. So my experience, and you didn't say the power cell's taken away the sense of smell. My experience of dinner with my family is smelling their food in a way that's probably a little off-putting. I grab her food and put it to my nose. So am I some form of subhuman because I'm missing out on the dinner experience with my family, you ableist prick? I mean, sorry, I take that part back.
Hold on, man. I'm sorry to hear that you have that
I'm here, man.
issue. Okay.
Right.
But you still are gifted with hands and you're able to, touch your partner. So, but you are arguing that you would love to have robotic arms.
You never brought up hands. You just said if all you replace is your stomach with a power cell. Like, by the way, we're getting so advanced. Why wouldn't you make it a power cell that you still also get to... The reasons to eat are to satiate for power, sure, to give your body calories, but also we get dopamine hits. We get serotonin. We get there are other psychological reasons that interact. Chewing activates it like your vagus nerve and shit. Like it literally is good for you for other reasons than just giving you calories. So you're mostly asking if you replaced it with a power cell that doesn't do any of the other stuff, won't you suffer? So yeah, maybe I wouldn't get the power cell until it can do the other stuff. Why can't I just eat and then shit it out of my spine in a little fun little package that's unnecessary? Maybe it recombines it into some other food for my dog. Like, Sunil,
are we human centipeding our dogs now?
And this is why you can't be trans?
We both enjoy eating and shitting, right? That's a very human thing.
No, I do not enjoy shitting. That's a crazy thing for you to say.
Why don't you get
considering the intestinal disease I just mentioned, I do not enjoy shitting.
Sun. Right? Why wouldn't you do that then? Because that would be more of efficient way of doing things, right? Why do you want to be human? You can just put a solar panel on your head and get the
hold on. Right? This is what I'm talking about. Sunil, this is what I'm talking about. Why do you equate being human with just the biological aspects?
That's exactly my point. It is an extremely biological thing, being human.
Sunil, let me ask you a question. So wait. I want to ask you a thought experiment. Okay. Yeah, this has nothing to do with trans people because trans people don't lose the human experience. So it's a non-point. Right. But I just want to ask you a question. Let's say we're 50 years in the future. Let's say we're 15 years in the future, and I get into a terrible car accident. Hold on, Sunil. I'm trying. Let's say we're 50 years in the future, and I get into just an absolute terrible car accident.
Go ahead.
And the doctors go, there's no way we can save Jovan's body, but we can upload his brain to the cloud where he'll have his own virtual avatar. He'll have all his memories, his personality is there, all of this. Am I now human or am I not human?
That wouldn't be you. That would be a copy of you on the web or something. It wouldn't be you.
Why wouldn't it be me?
Why for example, if you lost your arms or legs, I would let me clarify. If you lost your arms or legs,
Sunil, your audio is going crazy. Did you walk away from your wife? Sunil, your audio is going crazy. Did you walk away from your router or something?
Let's stick to the topic, guys. Come on.
Sunil, listen to me. Sunil, stop. I'm not trying to interrupt your flow. I'm telling you, your phone call sounds like shit. I can't understand what you're saying. Did you move from your router?
I'm sitting.
I don't know what you're saying in response even. I'm going to mute you right now. Since you're now accusing me of lying, go to YouTube right now. While you're muted, I will unmute you in a moment. Go to YouTube right now and find your call. Rewind to where I'm saying this, rewind to just before it, and listen to your fucking call. No one knows what you are saying. That's what you sound like right now. Go listen and then apologize for trying to accuse me of lying with your, I think you can hear me just fine. Literally, no one can hear you. We're getting little tidbits. We're getting little pieces. You can apologize for accusing me of lying, and then we can continue. Goodness fucking sakes. Can somebody call in about, if you're going to call in on the trans issue, can you have actual stuff rather than, because literally, if I said, you know what, obviously I don't mind replacing body parts. My right shin is more titanium than it is bone. Okay? So replacing body parts, what, as far as the philosophical moment of when is the philosophical moment when you no longer are yourself, it would be a continuation of your consciousness would be my answer.
Oh, so I didn't get to the second part of the hypothetical is now let's say they grow me a new body and put my uploaded brain back into that body. Am I not a human? Am I not me? Because you said it wasn't me. Right. So what am I?
Right. It would be the continued experience of your consciousness would be the human thing. There are going to be things that are human experiences that many of us would not even recognize. There's that one guy who, when they looked in his brain, he only had like 20% of a brain. It was something crazy like that. I'm sure I'm saying something wrong, but he literally was a live participating member of society, but most of his brain he just didn't have. And and we wouldn't recognize if we were put into there, like, how does body, brain, everything work in that scenario? All right, we're going to unmute and see if we can hear him and see if he wants to apologize. Sunil, have you gotten back close to your router so we can hear you?
How's my voice right now? Is it okay? Or is it
right now we hear you. Would you like to apologize for implying I was lying?
I didn't say you were lying. When did I say you were lying?
You said, I think you can hear me just fine. That was one of the few moments that came through.
Ah, okay.
Is that not implying that I'm lying?
I didn't do anything different. I didn't do anything different. It's basically the same.
So was I lying or not?
I don't know what you mean, but...
Did you go listen to the YouTube video to confirm that we couldn't hear you as I told you to?
No, I did not.
Oh my God.
But if the connection is good right now, I would like to continue the conversation.
Yes, for the moment.
Before we continue, Sunil, can you just tell me, how does trans people doing whatever they want to their bodies make it so that they're no longer human?
Well, part of the human experience is accepting yourself and other people accepting you for your inadequacies. Let me finish. You're not letting me get 2 words in.
So don't go to the gym.
Go ahead anyways.
Hey, wait. Is it okay?
I gotta take the glasses off.
Is it okay for cisgender people to get boob jobs?
That's more acceptable than cutting a body part off.
It's gender affirming care. There is no what body part do you think gets cut off?
Oh yeah, was that tits or dick? Cutting it off, I think it's wrong.
They don't. What
because
do
you're
you
taking
think gets
away
cut
healthy
off?
Body parts.
What body part do you think gets cut off?
Watch out, guys! Don't get your pancreas
out.
Sometimes
tits get cut off. Sometimes dick gets cut off.
No, the dicks do not get cut off.
Sometimes tits get cut off, Jimmy.
The dick. Yeah. First of all, wait. Do you not believe that people are allowed to get breast reduction surgery? If let's say a person has too big of boobs, they actually have, what is it called? Oh fuck! It's called macrogyno. No, it's macromasto something. There is literally there are people whose boobs don't stop growing because of something that's going wrong. Or there are people who are just uncomfortable having too big of boobs. There are men who grow breast tissue. Are any of those individuals allowed to get breast reduction surgeries?
Yes, they are.
Okay, so the only people you don't think should get breast reduction surgeries are the people who also look at their breasts and go, I don't like these as they are. They make me uncomfortable. They make me feel unpleasant. Those people are also not allowed to get them?
But what you said doesn't track. There's a difference between reducing something and removing it.
Okay, and yet some people reduce them a lot. Some people get them removed because they have... What about the people who have the gene? So they don't actually have breast cancer, but they have the gene that makes it more likely they will get breast cancer. So without breast cancer in advance as preventative medicine, they get a full mastectomy. They get their breasts removed so they just never have to worry about it. Are they okay?
Well, if there is a chance that they're going to get sick, then it's obviously the right call to...
Great. No, but it's only a chance. So for their psychological comfort, not being as afraid, they did it. Okay. Not treating, not transitioning for transgender people also has terrible medical outcomes. And for psychological comfort, some people get mastectomies. Why are they undeserving of doing that when their outcomes, their medical outcomes, because psychological outcomes are still medical, are improved?
See, but you changed the argument from like cancer to psychological. So let's stick to the psychological thing.
I actually took the cancer one to psychological. I literally said they don't have cancer, but they can feel comforted. They can psychologically fear it less because they got rid of their boobs.
I would even take it to its extreme. What if me as a person who, and I'm found completely mentally competent, I'm found sane, I'm within my faculties. What if I just didn't want a dick anymore? What if I just didn't? What if me, I'm still a man, I'm still all this. I just don't want my penis anymore, so I get it chopped off. Maybe even possibly for religious reasons. I just get that shit cut off.
Okay.
What's the problem? So, if I'm aware of everything that's to come with this, what would be the issue?
The issue is I look at tantamount to taking a limb off. If I choose to cut my own arm off, you guys would support that. But that is wrong. You should not. You should tell me.
No, I wouldn't. Excuse me.
Hold on.
Okay.
Stop. I'm asking you what the problem is, and you just said, well, the problem is I think it's wrong. I know you think it's wrong. Can you articulate an actual reason why, or is it just you think it's kind of icky? Because if it's just you think it's icky,
because you're removing a healthy body part. It's because you're removing healthy.
All you're doing is restating the premise.
Once again,
all you're doing is restating the premise. I don't care about a restate of the premise.
It's not the premise.
When it comes to boobs, there are lots of reasons why people get their boobs removed. The dick does not get removed. The dick gets repurposed and reshaped. So you're also just wrong about the comparing this doesn't work out because there isn't anybody just getting their dick chopped off.
No, that's totally true. But I want to demonstrate once again that this man is calling in to tell us he doesn't like something because it hurts his fifis. That's it. He doesn't. There's no reason here. You haven't been able to articulate a reason why you think it's bad. Okay. You just keep reiterating that you don't like it.
I did say it's a healthy body part. There's nothing wrong with it. Why would you remove it?
That's just the premise. Stop. That's just it doesn't matter. The why doesn't matter.
If you're within your premise. You're not willing to dig deeper into that.
The why doesn't matter. No, Sunil. Stop. Sunil.
Okay.
The why is not important because I've already started the hypothetical with I've been deemed mentally competent. I have no issues. I'm within a sound mind and body. So the why is unimportant. I'm asking you if I wanted to do this. Doesn't matter why. Yes. What the bad? Why is it bad? And you keep saying it's bad because I'm doing it. That's a circular answer.
You're asking me a question. You're saying it is very rational for a person of sound mind to remove healthy body parts. That doesn't track. If you're of healthy mind, you will not
engage in the thought experiment. If you can't engage in the thought experiment, there's no point talking.
Can I just real talk, homie? Just one last sentence.
You're not engaging. You're not engaging, homie.
Sunil, why would we give you
just one last sentence?
No, we're not going to give you one last sentence if you're going to refuse to engage. Right? By the way, you don't even know. Let me see this. What is the name of the condition where a person does feel like they have a body part that doesn't belong, that needs to be amputated? Do you know the name of that condition?
You're asking
No, not you. Let's see if Sunil does.
You're changing the definition of what it is to be sane.
What is the name of the condition? What is the name? What is the name of the condition?
Healthy body parts.
No, okay, you don't get to.
He can't engage.
If I unmute you and I'm asking you a question, you can answer that or you can fuck off. You've chosen to fuck off. Just so the chat knows, Cortez is in the, I'm going to put the price at $200. There has to be a single super chat of $200 telling me to take Cortez's call. And it has to happen between calls. We have other calls lined up right now. So if somebody really wants me to take Cortez. Yes, you have. There's no way you haven't. There's no way you haven't. And so here's the thing about Cortez, people. And here's why I don't mind if none of you pay for it. Cortez calls in either drunk or disabled. It seems because some morons in the live chats and in the comment sections decided they wanted to see if they could outwoke Jimmy Snow. Wanted to go like, Jimmy, you were saying drunk. And I think there's a chance that he's disabled. And it's fucked up of you to say drunk. However, Cortez is also called in different states. And so supposedly now, because he is given basically taking what the comment section does, as a shield, will make that claim, and however, will call in sounding different levels of drunk the different times he calls in. So well done, chat. That was your fault. Comment section more. Anyway, regarding Cortez, he is called in several times. He is an incel and an idiot. There is not a good reason to take Cortez for us, unless you pay us to do so. That's literally it. Because at this point, I am a boxer who is continually fighting a 10-year-old. And am I still proving anything the 15th time I'd absolutely wreck the 10-year-old? Is it a bragging thing for me to go on and be like, did you guys see this last week? I broke a 10-year-old's nose this time. Aren't you? I'm a full-grown professional boxer and I'm beating up 10-year-olds. You guys see? You guys see? So that's what it would take. It would take a $200 direct, and it would probably be a short call. Otherwise, I have no desire to talk to Cortez because Cortez has co-host syndrome. Cortez just, as something has happened in his mind where he goes, they gather the audience so that I can come and speak. And I really want to say my shit out there. That audience is there for me. He has a strange attachment to it. Anyway, we're going to start here with David from, I forgot what it was. David from Florida. David from Florida. Now, it does say here, let's start here. How old are you, David?
I'm 46.
And David, in the last 2 elections, I'm sorry. Actually, David, we'll have to come back to you. Unfortunately, one of those weirdos did pay for that other call you just heard about. We'll come back to you, David. We have to do it before he gets off.
I've genuinely never spoken to Cortez.
What did that even say? What did the super chat take?
It said teach him about females as a sex.
He's already
heard.
Gender. He's already heard, and he proves he doesn't listen and that he doesn't change at all. Every call shows he did not listen to anything or be able to morph shit. Okay, well, Cortez, I got paid $200 to answer this call. It, however, is not a commitment to any amount of time with you. Cortez, how old are you?
I'm 39.
You have called in prior and said other ages. Do you remember what other ages you've said?
No, I didn't.
Do you remember what you told the Chewed Gum Girls your favorite drink is?
No.
What is your favorite drink?
Apple juice and whiskey.
Right. Now, the first time you called in, I asked you if you were drunk. Do you remember what you told me?
No.
And why was it a no?
Because for me, this is where I have a hard time.
No, it was because you said you don't drink. You said you don't drink alcohol.
No.
Yes, you did. The first time you called in and I asked if you were drunk, you said, nope, I don't drink. So you do drink or you don't drink?
I do drink.
Right. And did you drink before this call?
Yeah, a little bit. Yes.
How much?
A cup.
A cup of what?
Cup of liquor.
Of what?
Whiskey and Sprite.
How many ounces of whiskey was in it?
I don't know. It's a cup.
So 8? The equivalent of 8 shots?
Not really, because I don't pour it heavy. I pour it light. I'm not really someone that mixes my liquor heavy.
How long ago did you have those drinks?
I got off at 4, so I drank around 5 right after I got out of work.
So within the last 90 minutes, you have drank 4 drinks worth of alcohol. And you're saying you called in a little and you aren't calling in drunk. Are you tipsy right now?
I mean, I did drink liquor. So
are you tipsy right now? Are you buzzed?
Biologically, yes.
No, not biologically. Are you buzzed? Because wasn't when you started drinking 90 minutes ago, was the point not to feel something?
The point I was just relaxing. That was
right.
It.
Did you accomplish that relaxation?
Yes, I'm relaxed.
You feel real relaxed right now? So relaxed that you don't even mind if your tongue completes words.
For me, I drink.
Why do you call this show, Cortez? And then I'll let Jovan have you. Why do you even call? You call drunk, you say the same dumb shit, you pretend sometimes to agree with shit, you take on the notes about not calling women females, which is your favorite fucking thing to do, is refer to them as females instead of women. And we're not even talking about the trans issue. We're just talking about the women who won't date you that you hate. Okay? So what is it that do you even fucking call in?
To have a conversation with someone that disagrees with me.
Yeah, I don't think that's what it is. It's also weird that you think that people can't identify as a different gender when you're a drunk who identifies as sober. Go ahead, Jovan. No, Cortez is all yours. You're an alcoholic. You are an alcoholic and you make it my problem. You need to get fucking help.
Okay. Yeah. But I don't identify as sober. I don't identify as sober. I know I'm crooked.
Wild that is your rebuttal. You have fun with Jovan. I'm no longer speaking to you.
Well, I'm not gonna debate an alcoholic. What am I supposed to do?
We don't need to do it.
Yeah, but the thing is my question about transgender, my whole sentiment of me expressing my opinion was about transgender.
Cortez, you told the call-in screener that trans people don't recognize their own biological state. So you've already demonstrated that, and I know you're probably not taking any of this in, but you've already demonstrated to the call-in screener that you don't know what you're talking about. So like, it's not going to be a debate. It's going to be me giving you information that you're not going to retain, and then you going, I'll remember this for next time, and then there will be no next time because you won't remember any of it. So I don't know what are we supposed to, what are we supposed to debate when your opening thesis is so blatantly incorrect?
Try me.
Try
Give me your information. Give me your opinion. Yes.
Cortez, what do you think a person's biological state? What does that mean?
A biological state means that their chemical organs and also their muscle tissue, their bone structure, everything that completes a human being to be on this earth.
Great. So Cortez, trans people recognize all of that within themselves. So you're wrong.
Okay, but
so can you wait before we move on? Can you just admit I'm wrong about that? Can you just say I was wrong?
I'm wrong. Okay, great. I'm wrong.
Cortez, do you have a pen and paper?
Okay, I'm wrong.
Do you have a pen and paper?
Why?
Hang on. Do you have a pen and paper?
All right.
Grab it.
I can get a pen and paper.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you something to write down. You're gonna read it back to me.
All right. When it comes to my spelling of my words and
I'm gonna say it out to you, so you don't have to worry about it. One, you're gonna write down this and you're gonna read it back to me. 1 8 0 0.
Hold on. All right. I will.
Ready?
Hold on. Go ahead.
1 8 0 0 6 6 2.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
You said 1 8 0 0
6 6 2
6 6 2
4 3 5 7
4 3 5 7.
Will you read it back to me?
1 8 0 0 6 6 2 4 3 5 7.
Now, this is what I'm going to say to you. Right now, in front of 2,000 people, I am telling you this is your sign to get help. It is time for you to get help. It is time for you to face your addiction and stop being ran by it. I am a former addict. It will make your life better. You will have closer relationship. relationships, you will have love, but you need to face this. The phone number I just gave you is to the National Helpline. It is free. It is confidential. They'll connect you to support groups. They will get you to local treatment. They will find resources for you. Okay? This is your sign. It is time to face your addiction head on. That is a phone number for them. We're going to leave it there. Please call them. This is your sign to get help. You really, really need to.
Can I talk?
You cannot,
about
Cortez.
My opinion?
No, you cannot. Legitimately, as a former addict, or you could say current addict, still in recovery years later, you need to get help. It is time. This is your sign. Fucking A. Okay.
That's what you missed, Honkley.
We'll now bring back David in Florida. David in Florida, you are on the line with Jimmy and Jovan. How are you?
Oh, thanks for bringing me back, guys. That was really hard.
Yeah, you're a little bit quiet. I don't know if you're on speaker or something. There's something going on with the audio. If we can clear that up, that'd be good.
I'm not on speaker. Is that better?
Yeah, I think we're better. David, how old are you?
I'm 46.
And looks like we're having a weird thing with our note system here, so you might get asked a few questions twice. For our live chat, do you prefer to be referred to as a he, a she, a they? What should they refer to you as?
I am a meat popsicle.
Right, but he, she, and they are the options.
Yeah, I'm a male.
Right, so would that be a he, a she, or a they?
He.
Excellent.
I'm just me.
And you said you're 46 years old. In the last 3 elections with Donald Trump, that's the only ones I'm interested in very much. I do see the topic you're calling in on. Believe it or not, this will give me some information, though. Last 3 elections with Donald Trump, who did you vote for?
So I won my district for Bernie Sanders in 2016. And then after watching him hand over his platform to Donald Trump with no resistance, I lost all confidence in the electoral cycle. So at that point, I stopped voting. I was one of the 66% that decided no more.
So you have not voted in the general election since
no, I haven't
before
seen any
2016.
candidates that weren't chosen by AIPAC. So in my opinion, those are all compromised individuals.
Okay. So you believe that all of the current candidates, or all of the candidates so far, have been the AIPAC choices.
That is
how do you
my
feel
opinion
broadly
on it, yes,
about
I think,
Jews?
especially this last election.
Sorry, David, did you hear my question?
I'm sorry, what?
Well, so this thing, I'm against AIPAC, but there's 2 categories of people who are against AIPAC. And so I'm just trying to find out which one you're in. So I'm just going to ask you very broadly, how do you generally feel about Jews?
So I am actually Ashkenazi myself. I am not a
That's
Jew.
Cool.
I am a former NASA headquarters contractor who actually worked directly with Zionists at their main education division for 4 years. These Zionists
How would I
included people
verify
like
that?
Ghislaine Maxwell. I'm sorry?
So the thing is, I can see the claim you're calling in on. I will tell you, if you want to email me something to verify that, I'll take it. But for the moment, you're just a guy to me, David, because people call in claiming to be
That's
things
fine.
all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
understand. But you can actually confirm. My name is David Tyrus Godby, and I worked for Allied Technology Group for 3 years, and then Global Science Tech Group for 1 year on NASA headquarters contracts. So feel free to FOIA that, or just call them at 202-358-1110. But yeah, I was working for them by the time I was 17.
Well, typing in your name starts with some court cases. Doesn't bring me to NASA. Let me see if I can find that. And you could, you might be a different David
Tyrus. I worked for NASA for 1 year as a stay-in-school student. When I was 16, got a full-time contract. But the important thing is that the programs there, which were mainly held by dual U.S. Israeli grants under things like the Graduate Student Researchers Program, that technology and development's been going on for 30 plus years. So I find it very important in the wake of the Epstein files releases and some of the more insidious things being released there for people to really, get a better scale view of what's been going on.
So what is the main thing you're calling into? Are you calling in to just share something, or you have a question or a point of debate? Because we're not a share platform. We don't do like a open mic show and tell kind of thing.
No, I appreciate that. The point of debate, actually I'm on, as a former contractor myself, is, partisanship just seems to be kind of folly. And that we should all be careful not to play into the World Economic Forum agenda, which also happens to be Trump's, Agenda 2030. It's known by a lot of names. Some people call it the New World Order, including the people that are working on it. Carney just described it again at his recent Davos speech. So we should all be careful of partisanship and dividing at this point, when we know for a fact that some of the Epstein things that go back 4 generations, or 4 decades, I should say. We've been very well crafted into taking positions on some things that, only matter to about 0.5% of people. We should be very careful about that, especially when we find out, we're being manipulated in many ways. So I advise people to, look more into the Epstein files if they're really partisan, because that spans both parties.
Okay. So not a point of debate or question? I mean, I don't care to engage the New World Order stuff.
Jimmy, I'll be right back.
Okay, so...
Oh, man, Jovan, I was hoping you were tracking, because I've been Googling.
What's the point of partisanship?
What is the point of partisanship? And partisanship you are defining as what?
Just taking a side in dueling, conspiring child traffickers. When you look at things like the fact that Congress funded Ghislaine Maxwell for quite a few years under her Terra Mar project, and no one in Congress
Trump
is
a child
mentioning
trafficker?
that, even though that was bipartisan. Ghislaine Maxwell, the child trafficker, yeah, she had a defense contract.
Is Donald Trump a child trafficker?
Well, he was heavily involved with Casablancas in '92. Didn't he also get indicted and settle out of court with at least 2 victims? But if he's working with the World Economic Forum and Israel, who, lead the world by most humanitarian organizations in human organ trafficking, child trafficking, it's a place where we intentionally relocate convicted pedophiles and rob their victims of justice on our own taxpayer money. I mean, there's so much insidiousness. The Epstein files are really just the tip of the iceberg still. But partisanship, to me, is pointless in an age where we find out
where do you get most of this information?
Every president has been in on this.
Where are you getting most of your information?
Well, I've seen it from the inside. You can, FOIA, the Graduate Student Researchers Program information from the 90s, where they were working on dual U.S.-Israeli grants for geoengineering, mind control. They weren't even hiding it, and destabilization technologies. I worked on that stuff myself at NASA headquarters. And
you worked on mind control at NASA headquarters? Is that what you just said?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. On Graduate Student Researchers Program grants from 1996 to 1999. If you want to do that FOIA information, these were all dual U.S.-Israeli grants.
All right. Well, thank you, David. You have a good day.
Yep. Best of luck.
See ya. What do you guys think I was going to do?
Didn't he say he worked with NASA when he was 16 or 17?
On mind control, it was toward the end. What did you guys think was going to happen? All I was trying to do was, while he was talking, he for some reason gave his full name. I'm just trying to figure out what these criminal lawsuits against him in Florida were, but it's not easy to pull up the details. Mind control, guys. Okay. So. Okay, let's see these calls here.
Where did Jovan go?
I don't know. Jovan walked off. We got to put a price on. Jovan, are you doing Hakeem are you wanting that call, or are you wanting a price on the Hakeem call? Because I don't care. Legitimately, I don't think about that man unless we're on the show.
Did we get a syllogism? I was getting a pancake.
It's in the Discord.
Luthien, do you know if
it's in the
did
Discord?
He say he is able to offer? Oh, that's the So we are correct that he doesn't know what a syllogism is.
That's not a syllogism.
That's not a valid or sound syllogism. Like usually with syllogisms, it's like if it's not sound, am I saying it in the right order? If it's not sound, we're gonna like, okay, at least you made a valid syllogism. There are lots of people who can make valid Christianity syllogisms, but they can't make sound ones. They fall apart at their soundness. Or do the premises, so valid would mean the premises follow. They connect to each other. He also didn't pronounce it right one time. How did he say it? You're muted.
I don't even remember how he said it.
Said Sally. He's talking about Sally Jism, you know?
Or silly jisms. Don't look at my silly jisms.
I think he was mixing up the L's.
Okay, well, anyway, high IQ Hakeem doesn't have to be next at the very least. In fact, he didn't call in order to be next, so there's no good reason. Let's talk to Dennis. I'm going to give you Dennis to get started. But Dennis in Tennessee. Dennis, you are on the line with Jimmy and Jovan. A couple of things to get started here. Dennis, how old are you?
41.
Can we turn off the show in the background? Yeah, if we'd be able to hear you better if you turn the show off.
I thought I did that.
Well, I hear something in the background there. Seems like it's turned off now.
Might be my girlfriend's phone.
I think we're good now. All right. I think so. Dennis, now let's just cover the bases of a few things. First of all, you said you're 41 years old. For our live chat that is here, would you like them to refer to you as a he, a she, a they, or something else?
He.
That will work. And you are, in the last 3 elections, did you vote Trump or somebody else?
I didn't vote, but if I did vote, I would have voted Trump.
All 3 times you didn't vote, or just the last one?
Oh, yeah, all 3 times. Last one I was gonna vote, but they wouldn't let me off work to go vote. So.
Oh, they broke the law. But Dennis, I got to tell you, you're my favorite kind of MAGA supporter, the kinds who don't vote.
Whatever.
All right. And Dennis, just to cover some of the other calls that came in here. First things first, Dennis, have you ever worked on mind control at NASA? No? Okay.
No, I have not.
No mind control. Are you drunk?
No, but about that, the advice you gave that guy is really good. I myself am a recovering addict, and that's the best advice you could have gave that guy.
Well, thanks, man. All right, I'm going to give you to Jovan. I got to pee like a racehorse.
Word. All right. Dennis, if I'm reading this correctly, you don't hate LGBTQ people, but you don't think children should be able to access gender-affirming care. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Are children with adequate access to gender-affirming care more or less likely to commit self-harm or suicide?
Well, we don't actually know. Like there's some data that says one thing, and there's some data that says the opposite. But like
the only data we have shows positive mental health aspects. Dennis, just really quickly, the only data we have shows positive mental health aspects.
Okay, I'll go with that. But excuse me. It's for the same reason we don't allow children under the age of 18 to get tattoos, to drink alcohol.
Tattoos and gender-affirming care. That's just legal. There are plenty of kids under the age of 18 who get tattoos with their parents' consent. There are plenty of kids who under the age of 18 smoke, right? This is just a law, so I don't really care about the law. My question, though, is are children who receive gender-affirming care more or less likely to engage in self-harm and suicide?
Like I said, I don't know. You said that the only evidence shows that they're less likely, but I don't believe that's true.
Yep, there's a 70% decrease in suicidality.
Well, how could you know that?
Through studies, through research.
I mean, what studies are going and finding these kids that have self-harmed or self-deleted? I don't know the terms of service, what platform you're on or anything, so I don't know what I can and can't say.
What studies would show a lot of them? Like we're going to do a lot of different literature. What do you mean?
The
you would ask them.
How are you gonna find out that's the reason they self-deleted? How do you know self-deletion?
Well, so there are a few things. One would be
whatever it was he said.
One would be an inference. Okay. So one would be inferring based upon the struggles that they expressed while they were alive. The other could be notes, like suicide notes would be another way to know. But when we're talking about a decrease in suicidality, hold on. When we're talking about a decrease in suicidality, that means we're going to be looking at children who have expressed a desire to commit suicide, who then that desire to commit suicide is lowered by gender affirming care. That's how we would do it. We would talk to kids who already have this desire.
Mental health, who already have a mental health problem and already want to self-harm. So we're just going to give them drugs and
nope. So I want you to follow me. Dennis, I want you to follow me along with this, okay? I really want you to follow along with me on this. Every single literature review, every single meta-analysis of the data points to the same thing. It points to the fact that gender-affirming care lowers rates of suicidality. In youth, it's up to 70%. It increases mental health outcomes. It has both short and long-term effects, positive effects on mental health. Every single study we have on this. Now, if you're telling me that you do not support, is it his?
Yeah. Hey, I don't know if you're on speaker or what, but we can hear the audio piping back in. It's awful.
Hang on, it's my girlfriend's phone. Let me take this. I got this on.
Is she watching the show next to you? Because it's our audio we're hearing back.
No.
Then are you on speaker?
No, I had an earbud in. Can you hear me?
Yeah, your earbud might be louder than you think. We'll find out.
Is that better?
We'll find out. Go ahead, Jovan.
Yeah. I can give you every single study that I'm referencing if you'd like them, Dennis. I have all of them in front of me.
Yeah, just a couple, actually. I don't need every single one because I'm sure there's a lot.
Sure, beautiful. So one of the big ones. Sure, no, take your time. We always love research here. This is a good pancake. Just let me know when you're ready.
I got a note. Yes, sir. Give me just a second. I got a notepad in here some freaking wearing. I did.
All right, here's what we're going to do. Because we do have a time thing. So don't worry about writing it down right now. He's going to tell you. Okay. We have this cool technology at YouTube.
Go back and watch
you can just go
video,
back.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay. This first one is from Cornell University. This is called What Does the Scholarly Research Say About the Effect of Gender Transition or on Transgender Well-Being? This was a systematic literature review. It looked at 55 studies. Of those 55 studies, 51 of them indicated that gender-affirming care has a positive effect on mental health. 4 of them indicated that it had mixed to no results. 0 studies indicated any negative results whatsoever. Okay? There's also
not a very big sample size.
55 studies is a huge sample size for a meta-analysis. Yes. For a literature review, 55 studies is huge.
Not 55 people, 55 studies.
Okay.
Next is Mental Health and Gender Dysphoria, a review of the literature. That one is also a systematic literature review. This one looked at 38 different peer-reviewed studies and found that transgender people have poorer mental health outcomes prior to treatment, and that after treatment, mental health outcomes improve. In most cases, they reach normative values. So that would be that one. We can even look at, where is it? This one. So this is young adult psychological outcome after puberty suppression and gender reassignment. This one was a 7-year-long longitudinal study about the effectiveness of these treatments. And what it found, unambiguously, was positive results. Psychological functioning improved. That includes gender dysphoria, body image, depression, anxiety, emotional/behavioral problems. Overall well-being improved, both on the objective and subjective qualifiers. And some of them reached both similar or better to young adults from Gen Pop. Okay. So based on all of this data, if you're just to close up to close up the point here, based on all of this data, right, I would say it's pretty conclusive that gender affirming care is a positive treatment for people who have gender dysphoria.
Okay, well, isn't there multiple studies showing that if this is pre-pubescent kids, if you don't give them what you would call gender affirming care, what I call putting drugs in their system, if they just let them go through puberty naturally, isn't that like a 95% desistance rate?
What do you know what desistance is?
Yes, where they stop saying that they're what they are.
No. So there's a difference between desisting and detransitioning. When we're looking at, first of all, when we're looking at these studies surrounding desistance, most of the time what's happening with desistance is you just have kids who are never trans to begin with, right? So desistance is going to look at...
How do we know that's not what's going on with the other kids?
Because we also have studies on detransition. Well, yes, we do. We have the studies on. Hold on. Again, we have the data on this. We know that when it comes to people detransitioning, right, who medically or socially transitions, the bulk of people who medically transition do not desist. And we even have studies of this in the youth population. For instance, we have a study which is the... Yes, you can still. This is why I asked if you knew what desisting means. You can still desist. Desisting means you no longer identify as trans. So you can still desist after you've had... Nope. Desistance means you no longer identify as trans. Nope. This is why I asked. This is why we've been doing now, like, sort of knowledge checks here. Desistance just means that you no longer identify as trans. Okay? That's all it means.
No, I'm sorry, you're wrong.
You can say I'm wrong, but this is in the DSM-5.
Look it up on Google.
This is literally in the DSM. Desistance refers to a child or adolescent who previously identified as transgender or gender dysphoric, but later no longer identifies that way.
So how can they desist? How can they desist if they transition? If they fully transition, how can they?
Did you hear the word identify in the definition?
God damn.
I'm sorry, what?
Did you hear the word identify in the definition Jovan just gave you?
So it's about self-identity.
The word it's right in there. So if I think I'm trans, I transition, I go, oops, that was a mistake for me. I no longer think I'm trans. Unfortunately, my transition was thus that I can't do much physically about it, but I no longer identify as trans. I now identify as the sex and gender I was identified at birth. As those things, despite those, I will have desisted despite the fact that I may no longer have boobs or whatever the transition was.
My point still stands.
It really doesn't.
Before puberty,
no, because wait, no, your point doesn't stand, and your point doesn't stand, and I'm going to tell you why. We have studies on this. One of the largest studies we've ever done with a sample of 552 participants looked at desistance, over a 6-year period and found that only 1% of trans youth desist after receiving any sort of medical transitioning. Only 1%.
500.
Everybody else desists well before because, and I have a feeling you might not know this, when you have gender dysphoria, if you want to get the diagnosis of gender dysphoria, in order to get gender affirming medical care through your insurance, it takes 6 months. It takes 6 months to do that.
Well, I guess that depends on where you live, but
nope. That's the standard for insurance in the United States to get the diagnosis. Just like I can't get a diagnosis of diabetes if my A1C is 5, right? There are criteria that have to be met in order to get the diagnosis.
Well, isn't there a reason why, Sweden and places like that stopped doing gender affirming care?
Sweden, so one.
I can't remember specifically Sweden.
Just to give you some information, there are countries in the UK that are removing gender affirming care, but none of it is based on any science. They are doing it because they voted in a Labour Party that doesn't like trans people. That's why when they commissioned a review of the literature, the person who wrote the review of the literature said, we should not ban this. And they said, LOL, we're going to do it anyway.
Okay.
So none of the countries that are rolling back gender affirming care models are doing it based on any data or evidence. They're doing it because they don't like trans people, which is why I say Dennis, MAGA doesn't like LGBTQ people.
By the way, Dennis, Jovan only brought up after the desistance rate plummets after any type of healthcare happens, any medical care. The problem with your studies, I assume you quoted the 84% number. Was that the one you quoted?
I thought it was it was a couple years ago.
The one from the DSM-4?
95%.
No, so no one has 95%. In fact, the only number that's 95% is the one of if you do transition, it's 95% do still end up being trans if you transition. The 84% number that anti-trans people, like I dare say yourself, like to quote is based on a polling of kids who, by today's standards, you wouldn't count most of them as trans because most of them hadn't even socially transitioned. So whatever criteria it was kids who think that kind of thing might be going, but didn't even do non-medical levels of transitioning, as in asking for a new name, wearing different clothes, asking for different pronouns. In fact, even just adding social transition takes the number to the 95% number in the other direction. Children, in at least one study, it might be 94, who in at least one study who had socially transitioned came out at a 95% rate of still considering themselves trans years later when the follow-up questions happened. So the numbers that you're getting are wildly, I think you're flipping the numbers against your case and ignoring that the 84% number that people love to say, or 60 to 80% that people love to say about the desistance studies, do not cover the fact that most of those kids wouldn't be considered trans.
Well, and I don't know if you mentioned this, Jimmy. I was hold on really quickly. Dennis. I don't know if you mentioned this, Jimmy, because I was reading something. When you look at any desistance study done before the DSM-5, one of the big issues was they counted gender nonconforming children as people desisting. Right. So it literally skews the data in wild ways because you have these people who are still gender nonconforming that they're saying, well, they're no longer trans, which isn't entirely accurate. So the desistant numbers are exaggerated.
They were studying, and a lot of these studies that are older, my peers, I literally grew up in a church that told me you can't be gay because God doesn't put a woman's spirit in a man's body. So even growing up, if I had found that study and people had come to me about my queerness and I was open and honest about it, I would have been like, I guess, well, because I don't understand. So maybe I am, I don't know, because I would have to have some girl spirit in me. I mostly have boy spirit, but every now and then, this really cute kid, Garrett, touches my shoulder, and his name was actually Garrett too. Anyway, so Dennis, it's like we're just sitting here and we're talking about studies that seem to be gathered in a way.
Well,
I feel you have gathered your beliefs from people who gather studies together to make a case against trans people without necessarily a very good understanding of what they say.
Well, I'm not even making a case against trans people. Like that's my whole point. That was whenever I talked to your call screener. I'm not against people transitioning. If you're an adult, do whatever you want to with your body. None of my business. It's kids that I care about, and I don't want them.
Great. So the youngest kids,
their bodies.
The youngest kids only get access to social transition. Then when they grow up a little bit older, they get access potentially to puberty blockers. And puberty blockers is, we've already spent enough time with you to see that something is going on. So we're just going to pause it for a minute while we think about what's going on. And then if they continue, if it truly is the case that they are trans, then at around 16, they may get access, depending on where they are, to hormone blockers, or not hormone blockers, but rather hormone HRT. And most likely they won't anyway now, especially in America, until they are 18. And when it comes to puberty blockers, the puberty blockers are associated with like the lower instances of gender dysphoria later, because puberty is what creates those features that cause people to be the most dysphoric. So you're basically telling a lot of adult trans people that despite the data shows that this is not a problem that we need to be concerned about, because the true desistance rates, the detransitioning rates, the regret rates are lower than other major medical cosmetic surgeries that people do. They are very, very low. We don't have data to prevent it, but we will stop you from having the best access to care. Trans adults used to be kids. And I think most trans adults who didn't have access to puberty blockers would tell you it would have made a lot of their life so much better, because unfortunately they live in a world where if they can't be described as quote unquote stealth, the amount of bigotry that is presented to them skyrockets. But for being visibly trans, if you will.
There are also trans people who regret transitioning, who are having trouble.
Right? And there are people who regret getting their knees replaced. Which one happens more? People regretting being trans or having their knees replaced?
There's more knee surgeries than there are transitioners.
Right. So do we ban all people from getting knee surgeries because more people regret their knee surgeries?
I'm just Dennis, I'm just going to give you the number. Okay. Because I have the numbers in front of me. Regret rates of knee surgeries are 20%. Regret rates for bottom surgery is 2.2%.
So I'll take you seriously as soon as you become against knee surgeries.
But really quick, I just want to mention here, the start of this conversation was, I don't hate LGBTQ, but we shouldn't allow gender affirming care for our children. But our children not getting gender affirming care puts them at significant risk for mental health comorbidities, suicide, self-harm, and all these other things.
So what should we do for those kids?
But all the studies that you cited has only been like a 6-year period. There's no long-term studies that actually.
The study I just cited about the regret rate for bottom surgery is a 50-year long. Nope. The study I just quoted for the bottom surgery regret rate is a 50-year long study.
But Dennis, we do have we also have studies that go. Hang on.
Look that one up.
We also have studies and data going back very far that we haven't had successful methods of treating it for decades, if not centuries. So right now, if we have emerging data that says, okay, contrary to all that stuff we had before, we do have stuff that definitely is much better. And we can say that off of a decade or two. The 50-year one he just said notwithstanding. Let's say we only had a decade or two of it. And that's what's emerging. But we know these people have existed for a long time. We know that they've killed themselves for a long time. We know that they've felt terrible. We know they've had these mental health comorbidities. Would you not, while you are studying the even better ways to treat them, give them access to the emerging care? Or do you sit there and go, hey, cancer, let's say pancreatic cancer, which is one of the ones that'll kill the fuck out of you. We haven't had a good treatment for pancreatic cancer for centuries. And yeah, in the last 10 years, we've found this one thing that only works so far in 70 to 90% of cases. But let's not go ahead and give everyone access to that until we have more decades of data. That's fundamentally what you're saying here. We have enough to say this is the best in town, and compared to what they had before, holy shit, it's way better. But we should keep studying, because if we can find the thing that's even better than all of that, we should do it.
I agree we should keep studying, but you've got to have a bigger
and in the meantime, do what for trans
people? And
in the meantime, what do we do for trans people?
If they're trans people, you get them the help that they need, therapist, whatever.
And the help they need is often transitioning.
Whenever they turn 18, they can transition.
No.
If they're still
get them the help they need whenever they turn 18. No. If you have pancreatic cancer, depression, anxiety,
that's a physical
cerebral
disability.
palsy, I'm not going to wait till 18 to take care of any of those things, because whether they're psychological or physical, they're healthcare. And I'm going to offer healthcare to trans kids because, and I know this is controversial, Dennis, for a lot of people in MAGA, I wish they wouldn't kill themselves.
Psychological healthcare is you get different treatments than physical healthcare.
Hey, Matt, hey, Dennis. Dennis, how much effort have you put into making MAGA more receptive and kind to trans people?
Me personally?
Yes.
Well, I don't have any kind of big platform like you guys do, so I don't know how I would, but I mean...
But have you ever told... do you regularly tell people in MAGA, since you are MAGA, that you come across that they should treat trans people better?
Yeah.
Do you though?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do I mean? I mean, right now, the only thing that if you're going to sit there, Dennis, if you're going to sit there, hang on, Dennis.
Let me answer your question.
Dennis, to tell you the truth, I was using you as a prop. Dennis, to tell you the truth, I was using you as a prop. You are, just stop. You are MAGA. You are part of a place.
Every time I start I get
yes, that is true, Dennis. You are part of a political movement that hates trans people, that has made... Okay, Dennis has hung up. And so Dennis doesn't want to listen to the actual greater point and why this was being asked of him. So the point is, the only thing that competes with effectiveness of transition as far as making transgender people feel okay is acceptance. And so until MAGA people... Because this was the question I kept asking. What do you want to do for them in the meantime? Until you can make MAGA accepting of trans people, you want to make transition surgeries and the necessity of transitioning to go way down? Start accepting trans people. Start calling them by their pronouns and their name. Start treating trans women like they're women. Stop using the language and propping up people like Matt Walsh. Truly, if you're saying what you're worried about is people getting these surgeries when you're not sure they need to, then if you give them a culture of acceptance, the people who will then only transition will truly be the people who only have that's what they need. That's the only thing left. So don't call in and tell me like how we need to change all the medical standards when you are part of a political movement that won't change your social standards to lower the occurrence of children committing suicide. Because that's who you people are. And that's why all MAGA hate trans people.
Shit, true.
Yeah. Did we put a price on taking Hakeem, or we still don't have to take him next?
All I said was he needs to provide a syllogism, and he still hasn't made an adequate one.
Well, did you ask for it to be a sound syllogism, or rather a valid syllogism? That's on you.
Oh, if I said valid, not sound?
You didn't say either. You just said a syllogism.
True.
Well, at least it'll be quick. Let's just get it over with. Well, I'll give you... If somebody does $50 in the next 90 seconds. I'll take Hakeem next. You have to put Hakeem in the chat. Otherwise, we'll take Hakeem after. Let's see. That one is trying to start leftist drama, I think. I don't know. Maybe not. And the other one, another trans call. Maybe we do the trans call just to be done with trans stuff for the day. I like having these calls and everything, but for real, it's crazy that MAGA won't call in and just.
He's been on for 22 minutes. I already addressed his point in the last call. Just ask him if he actually listened to the call.
Oh,
I already addressed that point.
I was more talking about. Yeah, I see that. I just wish conservatives wouldn't call in on literally like. It's only identity politics shit that they're willing to call in.
That's all they can handle.
And I think it's that they can't they can't defend conservatism because obviously MAGA's not conservative, right? Like it just fundamentally isn't. And so, look, we've already closed lines for the day because we have a few more calls. If somebody came into live chat and said, I will call in as MAGA and I will absolutely defend conservatism, can defend MAGA, whatever, we'll take your call. We'd open it just for you. To call in, but otherwise, like, guys, it's crazy that you can't actually. I don't think you know what your values are. You only know what team you're on, and you know your team doesn't like trans people, and that's why it's easy to get people to call in and be like, well, but the children, who I don't know the data surrounding, but to me, I just think if I got my dick lobbed off, that wouldn't be good for me as a child. It becomes so boring
Jimmy,
when you don't even know. Dude, that was wild to me. I was like, the moment I can replace certain parts of me with different like robot shit, bruh. That's just crazy to me. All right, well, nobody gave the 50. You give it like 15 more seconds, and then we're gonna try and wrap up the trans issue, and we'll take the other two calls in some order. We do only have 35 minutes. Do we have a MAGA in chat with a real, an actual MAGA, not a troll MAGA? Like, I mean, yeah, Hakeem's already in the queue. The people who are actually capable, and I'm not even sure Hakeem is real. You know what I mean? Like, literally the level of troll that I think he might just be like a fucking dude in his basement. Could even fundamentally be leftist, and is like, I'm gonna go play it, like somebody this dumb on TV. No MAGA dads so far. We really do want to talk to your MAGA dads, your huddled MAGA dads. All right. Coyote in North Carolina. Coyote, you are on the line with Jimmy and Jovan. Coyote, how old are you?
I am 37.
37 years old. Just fine. And
yes,
it says here you're an independent, which makes this way more interesting a question. In the last 3 elections, who did you vote for?
Let's see. I voted first time for Trump. Second time, I didn't vote. And then the third time, just to piss off the liberals, I voted for Trump again.
You're an independent who votes to, and I quote, just piss off liberals. Sounds very independent of you, not at all like an emotional trolley kind of decision.
Because I do have, me being an independent, I have a problem with both the liberal and the other side. So, yes, but I do like.
Wait until you find out those don't represent the. Wait till you find out that there are more options than those. Hey, Coyote.
Oh, I know there's more options. That's not the point.
We got 2,000 people. We got 2,000 people on the live chat. They're going to be chatting while we talk here. Would you like them to refer to you as a he, a she, a they, or something else?
Well, obviously, I am a he. Like, I don't know why that would even be a question for y'all.
Listen to the record. Listen to the
beings, we can clearly tell one another.
Hang on, Coyote. You called in with the name.
Physical features.
I'm going to mute you for a second because you already don't seem to know how this works. First of all, you said it's human beings. You called in with the name Coyote. If you want to know why I had to ask, go back and listen to the call. Your voice isn't as clear as you think it is. So now we will move on.
I think my voice is very clear.
I'm sure you do.
I think my voice is very clear. Very clear. So.
Yeah, very, very clear. It was easy. You could have just said he and we could have just moved on. But you gotta make it a whole thing.
Well,
that
I think it's
you who called in with an animal's name.
Question. You
called in identifying with an animal's name, but you're worried about being being called a. Yeah, All right.
Wait, are you trying
Coyote.
to shame me for using an animal's name? Is that what you're trying to do
opposite.
right now? It doesn't
Quite
seem
the
very
opposite.
leftist of you.
Coyote. Well, first of all, I don't believe people can identify as animals, but
associated with an animal.
All right. So, Coyote, you've got a little bit of this. Like, if I ever stop talking, I lose. So I'm gonna have to do this where I unmute you thing, so you recognize when. No, quite the opposite. I'm saying that it shouldn't be weird if I'm progressive enough to say, like, yeah, you want to be called Coyote? I'll call you fucking Coyote. Now, what are your pronouns? And you sit there and go, I want to be called an animal's name, but I can't just answer he without making some broader point about how masculine I think my voice is. First of all, it's not as masculine as you think it is. And second of all, you just answer and you move on. Just my guy, Coyote, my Coyote guy.
Maybe take some of your own. Maybe take some of your own advice about moving on. Okay, about certain subjects.
Thanks. But, I'll take that to heart. I'm gonna really introspect about that, Coyote. I'm gonna think about it, and I'm gonna think about when was the right time to move on. Was it right after the word he happened? What happened right after he said he?
Oh, well, you're definitely still not moving on from this point. Like, you want to continue it.
No, I'm Coyote, I'm introspecting. Like, will you give me a moment to introspect? Jesus Christ, Coyote.
Go ahead, man.
I'm introspecting. By the way, do you believe in Jesus Christ? Do you believe in Jesus Christ?
Yeah. I believe we have a Lord and Savior. Why not? If you all believe magic can become women, why can't there be a Jesus Christ? You know what I mean?
Oh, no, that's an excellent question.
What's the problem there?
No, hang on, Coyote. If you ask a question, I'm going to answer it. I don't believe men can magically become women. There's no magic necessary involved. That's why it's very well scientifically documented. However, I do believe. No, I'm not done. I'm not done. Coyote. Okay, Coyote. Listen, I don't know what it's like at the furry parties you go to, but while I'm speaking, you can't talk. All right, so Coyote, our furry Republican friend, is called in. Furries, what are you doing? You're letting this guy into your thing? So the end of your question is, the transition is purely scientific, and I would argue that a trans woman was never a man. She identified as a woman later in life, now recognizing what's going on with her, but wasn't a man who became a woman. It was they were a woman who recognized their own womanhood. Now, Jesus Christ, however, literally can't exist because magic doesn't exist. So once again, like earlier, when you tried to make the case, well, you won't call me Coyote, what are you saying? It would actually be you who would have to explain. Because if you think that it is a magical process by which trans people exist, and you think Jesus can exist because why not, and that's a magical process, why by your own standards can magical Jesus exist but not magical trans women? Go on.
We have historical facts that Jesus Christ was a real person, correct?
A human, not a magician.
That is a real. I never claimed he was a magician. Nobody ever
sorry,
made
you did. You called him the savior.
Making all of this
I'm sorry. Coyote, you called him the savior. The means by which he became the savior was magic.
That's what people in the Bible would refer to him as. But
right, they believed he was a magician.
They believed he could do magic. He was literally a man, a physical human being
who did magic tricks.
That we have historical records. No.
By the way, we don't have as much historical record as you. Coyote. We don't have as much historical record as you think we do.
Magic or whatever. That was never
Coyote. Not one person who ever
transfers from a woman to a man.
Hey, Coyote. Why is it?
You cannot be a man Coyote. It's never going to happen that way.
I'm not off Jesus yet. Coyote.
I know you're not because you want to stay on that.
Hey, Coyote.
It's not the point of the conversation.
Hey, Coyote. Can you stop talking for a second so I can ask my question?
How
many years, Coyote? Could you shut up? Coyote. How many years? If that's your name, I'm using your name very respectfully. Coyote. How many years after Jesus Christ died? Excuse me, Coyote. How many years after Jesus Christ died? Oh, excuse me, Coyote. Coyote,
don't try to talk to your dog.
Coyote, excuse me.
I've heard you talk to your other callers and mute them when they make good points or trying to make points against you.
Coyote.
And then you do this where you just keep going, Coyote.
So now I have to mute him because I've literally tried to ask the same question 4 times. And he's not even let me get to the end of the question. Not one time. So now on mute, I will ask the question. Coyote, how many years after the death of Jesus Christ is it estimated that the first person to write about him actually wrote about him? You're unmuted. You may now reply.
Does not matter to our conversation whatsoever.
I'm sorry, you made the claim.
Off on a tangent.
Mm-hmm. You made a claim.
Yes,
all right, so I have to mute you again because you really don't know how this works. You made a claim that Jesus has lots of historical records. Turns out he doesn't. The story of Jesus has a lot. None of it written at the time. And there's 0 verified accounts that anyone who ever met him in person ever wrote about him. 0. Not a person who touched him. So I don't say he didn't exist. However, I don't accept that the man for sure existed. Now, Jesus, the Savior, is also a different character than Jesus, the person who existed, because being a savior is a magical claim. So if a historical Jesus existed, it is not Jesus the Savior, because that man was a magic man, and that magic is not shit that's possible. So, Coyote, you made a claim about his historicity, and I was correcting your claim and exploring how much you even know about this man who is Jesus Christ. Now, I wonder how long it'll be before I have to mute you again, because you say something and it's either time for me to counter or ask my own question and you just keep talking on. I wonder how long that will take. I wish we had Polymarket. I'd be putting my money down on 7 seconds.
You get to, oh my God, do you go on and on? Like, okay, you did your little rant. Now, can we get back to the conversation of trans?
All right, go ahead, Coyote, and make your best point. Go.
Okay.
Just kidding. I don't care. All right. I mean, what the fucking, someone paid $20 for the drop. Will I always? Not really. But that call was doomed. Like, did that call have any potential after how it was going? That quickly?
When y'all started going, I just started playing Tetris. I have no clue what I heard. Jesus Christ! I heard him weaseling out. So I was like, I'm just gonna tets. I'm gonna tet some risses.
I'm not interested in somebody who's that bad faith. We've had calls with people we disagreed with today. We've let them get their points out as long as they understood, like back and forth.
He definitely didn't understand back and forth.
It takes a special type of, I said his girlfriend. It takes a special type of asshole at this point to get locked out. All right, well, you've got to stop with Tetris because you're about to take Hakeem while I play No Man's Sky.
Oh, Lord. All right.
Hakeem in North Carolina. Hakeem, how old are you?
46. You running away?
Hakeem is 46 years old. And are you...
I answered that the same way every time.
Do you think I put any effort into remembering you, Hakeem? Hakeem,
yes,
how do you
I live
spell
in your head
Hakeem?
rent-free, Jimmy.
How do you spell Hakeem?
Hakim.
Okay, good. If I think we might have a different spelling on there. So, producer, if when you do the name tag, you can check that out. And then
Hakeem never asked me to spell my name. It's Hakeem, Hakim.
That's okay. Yeah. And Hakeem, what are your pronouns?
He.
What else?
Oh, man.
He, him?
He, him, whatever.
You like his?
Sure.
In the last 3 elections with Donald Trump, who did you vote for?
Trump.
Trump
to be
3 times.
16, 20, and 24, right?
Mm-hmm.
At 46,
and you live
here's
in
my
North
total
Carolina?
record. Yeah.
Specifically where? No, you don't have to do that. Okay. Who is the governor of North Carolina?
Stein or some fuck. I don't pay attention too much to local politics.
You don't pay much to local? I apologize. We'll go to federal. Who are the senators for North Carolina?
The only one I know is that weakling Tillis. Happy he's going to be gone soon.
So to be clear, you're calling in as a political enthusiast with little knowledge
Federally.
Of the politics that affect
just
you
the presidency
the most.
The only thing that matters to me is the presidency.
Is your life affected more by federal or state politics?
Mostly federal.
That, I'm sorry, is untrue.
I'm living my truth, Jim. What are you talking about? Don't tell me my truth.
Your truth might suck.
But it's my truth.
Okay.
I want to talk to Steven.
I don't know who that is.
The black guy on your show that you keep muting. That wants the syllogism. That's what I called in for.
Well, we will wait for you to correctly request a host.
Steven.
Who?
Steven.
Spell it.
Stephen.
Who?
Steven. Steven Bradley.
So have we gotten to a point where you're just giving up? Even trying
no,
to
never. I've already beaten you. I'm 5-0 against you. I want to talk to Steven.
That you're just going to an extreme level of trolliness?
I'm not a troll. I just already have defeated you 5-0. 5-0 I am against you. Not to Steven.
Oh.
Whatever he wants to talk about.
What number comes before?
I like your show,
5?
but you're too easy to beat.
Akeem, do you smell burnt toast right now?
What about
no,
pennies?
Not at all.
Copper?
No.
Do you use Lubriderm?
No.
I wonder how you treat your chronically dry dick.
You don't have to. Vagina juice?
What is a syllogism?
It's an argument.
What kind of argument?
MAGA is better. E1, MAGA is better. B2, stock market is up 36% under Trump. B3, MAGA is better. There you go. Done.
I'm sorry, your syllogism has been processed and found invalid.
No, but it's just facts. You just don't like those facts.
That would refer to soundness. What is the difference between valid and sound?
Is the stock market not up 36%?
What does it mean for a syllogism to be valid versus sound?
Just facts. 36%. Stock market's up.
What does it mean for a syllogism to be valid? Would you please describe that?
Why won't you let Steven speak? I already have triumphed over you enough times.
He has the month off because it is Black History Month, and so I am paying him the same, but he doesn't have to do as much labor.
He's got those stupid kitty cat ears on.
Do you not support reparations?
Absolutely not.
I didn't think you would. What does it mean for a syllogism to be valid?
MAGA freed the slaves. Why would I support reparations? Maybe Democrats should. Pay them. You might guess,
What does it mean for a syllogism to be valid?
Not to mention the slaves were sold by black people. So why does anybody own reparations? What a silly argument.
So Jovan,
let Steven talk.
You feel like a piece of this?
I don't know who Steven is, so
yeah.
You're Steven. You let Jimmy talk over you,
Steven before. I don't know who Steven is. Never met a Steven before. Steven. Hakeem, if you're unable to engage in an honest conversation, just say that.
I'm very able. I've already shut Jimmy down. I'm 6-0 against him at this point.
Are you? You keep saying my 100%. Name wrong. Does that mean
100%.
Is it honest to consistently say my name wrong?
Well, hey, Steven,
no, just answer that. I want a yes or no.
Thing.
No, stop. What? Nope. I want a yes or no to the question I just asked. That's all I want to hear from you. If you say anything besides yes or no to the question I just asked, we're just dropping you and moving to the last person. Go ahead. Yes or no?
I didn't hear the question, so I will only say yes or no to your question.
Is it debating in good faith to consistently get my name wrong? Yes or no?
No.
Great. So you admit that you're not here in good faith. Thanks. Bye. Don't need to debate somebody who's in bad faith.
Ain't no lie.
Why would I debate somebody who's here in bad faith?
Admit it, like self-admitted. But now he's 6-0 or 7-0 or whatever it is. Oh shit! I lost the thing.
It's cool. I don't want to see his face anymore, so he can come back in 24 hours to chat.
In 24 hours, I'm not doing a show tomorrow. If
he admitted he's bad faith. I don't need to talk to you if you would openly admit your bad faith.
But it ain't no lie. Well, somebody paid for that. Did you get your money's worth? In fairness, they said it was John Darwin said take Hakeem when you want to. So
I told Hakeem I would take him if he's calling in good faith, but he clearly wasn't. So
yeah. Oh, people on the people, dancing on the people. I got people on the people, dancing on the people. Do you want to take the last one?
What's the last one again?
I think I'm looking something up right now. I think it's Nikki from Michigan.
Sure. I'll bring him up. Nikki from Michigan, you're on the line with Jovan and Jimmy. What's up? How you doing?
I'm all right. How about you?
Good. Real quick before we start, Hakeem is 0-2 against me. Go back to last week's call. He's 0-2. Nikki, you're from wherever MI is. Don't ask me state Michigan. Abbreviations. I don't know. Michigan. Are you getting hit with a blizzard right now, like everywhere else, and then up north?
It's not that bad. It's about, I'd say, probably an inch or two.
Okay. An inch or two, not bad. Now, Nikki, you told the call screener your pronouns are she, her. Great. What are you? Can you just tell us the screener obviously wrote down what you're calling in about, but can you just tell us your stance a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Before I say anything, let me just preface this by saying I'm very nervous, so I'm sorry if I stumble over my words a bit.
Mm-hmm. You're all good.
One of the callers earlier, I don't remember his name, but he was trying to make an argument that, like, he said, "Oh, if you replace like your body parts with robot ones," like he was basically saying that transhumanism was bad because trans people he thinks are icky, and you guys said that you very much supported that. So I was just curious because I've noticed that a lot of the high profile progressives at the moment, like Chris Valenti or Kyle Kulinski, are very vocally anti-transhumanism. So I was wondering what you were thinking about that.
Transhumanism.
What is Kulinski's reason to not be pro? And what are we describing as transhumanism? Because I feel like the only thing that we've talked about so far, like I want my stomach replaced. I'd probably get my leg replaced. It causes enough issues.
I want gills.
Jovan wants gills.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, my stance is pretty simple. My stance is like, I don't care about like what biologically makes us like humans, right? If we create a thing and we're like, hey, here's you install this thing and you got a robot arm. Dope, right? All I care about is making sure that human consciousness remains, I guess what we can still have agency and stuff over human consciousness. As long as that, like, we could get to a point where we have no more use. Like, if we ever get to the point where we have no more use for bodies and we can become conscious states, whatever, like heavy sci-fi shit, right? And we find that it is better to exist as that conscious state, I would say people should have the right to do that.
Like, is Kalinske, and I don't even know who the other guy you said was, because I don't consume a lot of like people. YouTubers are disgusting. Anyway, Nikki, is Kalinske opposed to transhumanism within a capitalist framework? Because yeah, for sure. But transhumanism in a socialist world would be, what would his opposition to that be?
I'd assume eugenics would be the opposition.
Like I specifically asked him, like he had a stream on the 21st of January. I specifically asked if his critique of it was only just that the rich would misuse it. And he explicitly said, no, any use of any transhumanism, like anything like that, he's very much against.
Did he give a reason?
If that genuinely, yeah, I would have to talk to him myself, and I doubt he's willing. But if that's genuinely his position, it sounds ableist as fuck. Because any use of transhumanism,
agreed.
How about literally?
Well,
like
he doesn't think prosthetics are transhumanism, from what I can gather.
Okay.
He has this very. Oh, sorry.
I'll just talk for myself, right? Like I have autism, and if you tell me, hey, Jovan, here's a treatment where you can now understand social cues, I probably might take that treatment. Not gonna lie.
Right. I might accidentally choke. I might need a robot throat to swallow it because I might take it too fast. I don't believe people should be compelled to have their autism cured. But I don't know that I like that a lot of people have made the decision for me about whether or not.
Like if they go, hey, Jovan, here's something we can do to you that will make it so you can handle bright lights, crowds, and noise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. Now, if it changes who I am as a person, no,
you saw me at game night. I can't stand mild lights, small crowds, and mild noise. I can't do it.
One of my stances on transhumanism, at least in terms of like gene, like designer babies, is that shit is coming, whether we want it to or not. Now we could like federally deny it, but to act like rich people aren't going to skirt around and do it is it's coming. We're going to hit a point where it's just a matter of fact that you'll be able to somewhat design the genes of your baby.
Right.
Right. It's going to come, and we just have to kind of figure out what line we're willing to walk with it. But like, I see all these times, and chat I don't know how chat's going to feel about me saying this, but I'm just going to speak honestly. All the times where people are like, oh, so should if we developed a cure, or maybe cure is not the right word, but if we develop a thing where you give it to your fetus and they don't develop Down syndrome anymore, should we have that? And it's like, if it happens, it happens. And now you have to come up with like, is it a thing that we as society, we're going to just hardline outlaw, or are we going to find a way, or not find a way, but are we going to look at it in like the practical sense? And I don't know. I don't have Down syndrome, so I can't answer that question. I don't know what a person with Down syndrome would think about that. I know as somebody with autism, if like my mom could have popped a pilly and I didn't have autism no more, I probably would if I could go back in time, would be like, pop that pilly.
There is also something to the fact that like a lot of leftists like me don't want to have children. And one of the main reasons I don't want to have children is between what I'm psychologically and physically, my chronic illness and my disability, like, or disorder. Sorry, guys. But I don't know. I think at certain points.
Yeah, Jovan, maybe it would be
you saw me at game night. Was it a disorder or a disability? Anyway,
maybe it's a thing where it can only. Maybe it's a thing where you have to make it only like base level medical stuff. We're going to have to make my kid
go through what I went through. And that's like the hard part is like not saying like we're definitely not going to do it at all. Sort of says like, all right, well then who's going to have kids? I might have kids otherwise if there were lots of more things I could control for, but I'm afraid of forcing so many of my experiences onto my kid.
The thing to know is that these conversations are going to have to happen.
Yeah.
They're going to come up as technology advances. And I think just shutting the whole conversation down and going, no, that's all eugenics, it doesn't do anything for us, because we are going to have these hard ethical conversations.
Even saying like the concept of like prosthetics are okay, but it seems like, again, I don't know what he said, so I don't want to hold him too much. You're just a random, like, I don't know you, Nikki, but I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and engage the topic without committing his position to my understanding of what you've relayed here. But even if you say prosthesis, it's like, okay, but then when is a prosthesis justified? Only when you've had an amputation, or if you work in a laborious position, and it would be, and there are other peoples who have a genetic advantage over you. And so like, just, you want a prosthesis to help you be able to lift wood. You're a woodworker like I am. And there are people who biologically are advantaged to be better woodworkers than you because their muscle density or whatever shit, like their shit works better than yours. Is that still in the realm of, no, you're not allowed to do it to enhance, even though compared to athletes, anything I would do to improve myself would be just like a prosthesis. Like, I don't know. It's too. I don't know.
I watch Rick and Morty and I see Rick with like all the arms and shit. I'm like, that'd be kind of dope.
Why don't I deserve more arms? Why can't I be Spider-Man? I don't know. A capitalist framework for transhumanism is super bleak, but I don't know that.
Yeah, I don't think we should ever. It's like the case of like the matter creator in like Star Trek, where like you can't create that first in a capitalist system. You have to create socialism first and then design that, because if you create that in a system of capital, it's going to get exploited by the capitalists to continue to make money off of you. So even it's like probably the same with this.
Even the Down syndrome conversation is so different in the socialist world versus the capitalist. Because right now, the capitalist would be motivated to not have a child with Down syndrome because of the financial burden and lifestyle burden that having a child with extra needs brings. And so, because right now the capitalist society says, fuck you if you're born this way. I don't give a shit about you. And I'm pro-life. And so it's like a totally different consideration where it's like, do you still do it in a socialist society when the society at large goes, if that's how you're born, we got your back. Anyway, Nikki, we're kind of bouncing off of each other. You're welcome to get a word in edgewise if you like.
Oh, no, it's right. It's all right. I honestly agree with basically everything you're saying. I mean, honestly, yeah, I get that you don't want to make any claims before, like, you know, anything. I don't even know the specifics about it. Like he says that trans people and like HRT and prosthesis, he says those aren't transhumanism, even though they obviously are. One thing that concerns me, like, and I do have a source for this. He did say that transhumanists should have less rights. He said that with his full chest. I have I can point you to the video and the timestamp if you want with that.
The thing is if he didn't have anybody there who's intelligent, and look, I know there are people in my audience who are going to get mad about this. Kyle Kalinske is very much like a Michael Knowles level leftist. I don't expect him to be anything but good to watch on YouTube. His depth just isn't there. And this we saw early on with his, like, I know he doesn't like Rogan now, but the way in which when he's with Rogan and he says cis and Rogan says, don't give that word power. And he immediately is just like, well, I'll just never use that word again for the rest of the interview. The way he just gives it up to people like Kyle, I'm positive is skilled at things. Obviously, he has a bigger, more powerful channel than I do, and he has more money than I do and more ability to finance people and access to people and all that kind of stuff. I just don't expect incredible depth, and so I don't know what that conversation looks like when he, a cisgendered, straight, able-bodied, as far as I know, man, is sitting up there with none of the consequences in his direct face of his position. If he had somebody across from him who even could make any comprehensive pushback, I think he isolates himself from those types of things sometimes. So I don't trust that him by himself isn't just basically having a silly, stupid rant that doesn't have much bearing on if he was challenged where he would actually fall down. Hopefully he would submit to some of the smarter minds.
I guess I couldn't comment on that. But, yeah, the main reason I'm asking is because, like, you know, I see these guys, like, they're the ones that basically the news are paying attention to. So it's like if we're going to get rid of Trump and all that, and then we're going to have to go right back to fighting these guys, you know, because this means a lot to me. So I'm just, you know.
Yeah, I feel you. I guess, look, if also when it comes to prosthesis goes, if I get my stomach replacement, I'm not just going for one as good as a normal one. I'm getting that upgraded model. But it bothers me that right now, transhumanism, were it to come about soon, it will have the Tesla brand on it. That's my number one problem. Is fundamentally, that would be the company right now. That would, if transhumanism took off, we'd all be wearing fucking Elon eyes and shit like that. And then he'd choose what we see. So the capitalist part of transhumanism is probably non-negotiable at the moment. We probably can't be transhumanist during capitalism, but post-capitalism. Anyway, we got to go.
All right. Have a good one.
We'll see ya. All right. Head over and watch Forrest and... I don't remember. Forrest and your mom. Everybody watching now, your mom will be on. And if that's an insensitive joke because your mother is dead, it is going to be a super shock. Turns out she's alive and she is on the show next hour with Forrest and Paulogia. I made it so much worse. Forrest and Paulogia, they are taking over for us. It should be about now, but it says they're still waiting. What are they waiting for? Okay, no, they're live. Go over there. We have redirect set up, Luthien. I'll get the link in the chat too.
Let me double check just in case.
And Jovan, what final words would you like to share with the people?
Vagina boob.
New line con this Saturday, patreon.com/call the line. We're still setting it up, but vagina boob. Good night, everybody. Whoops. I'm trying to get you all the link in case redirect doesn't work.